it'll let me know when we're live, and then we'll just wait for people to pop in.
Yeah, too easy.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. Yeah, just wait for people to come in, and then so I just got a stream deck too. That's interesting.
Oh, living the life with the Stream Deck.
Trying to tax refund. Thank you, tax refund.
Thank you, tax refund. Thank you, Mr. Taxman. The
Yeah,
IRS.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
I get to play these little sound effects.
I was really hesitant about getting one. I was like, do I need one? I have hotkeys, but you know what? With all the hotkeys I have, it makes just life so much easier.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is great.
Do you? So what I was thinking about doing. Let me ask you. Do you do like scene transitions with the Stream Deck?
So my transitions, so in OBS, I have my one transition that I use, and
Yeah.
it just applies to all of my scenes. But then I have certain scenes where I've turned the transition off for those scenes.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
for example, I have a scene where the screen goes grey and it's like the sad violin music, but I don't want the transition to that, so I disabled it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then going back to the other scenes, it applies.
Huh.
But yeah, it's really handy to have. There's so many cool features.
Yeah.
It really is a game changer. It really is.
Yeah, I'm just getting used to it. Oh, I didn't realize how simple it was for sound effects. So like you can drag and just drop sounds, and it's there.
Yeah, that's it.
Super simple. Thank you for the host. I can't see who's doing it, so thank you in advance. Is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. Okay.
You're welcome.
There we go. Yeah, I gotta figure out how I can see all the alerts that pop in. But aside from host, it'll tell me everything else in chat. I didn't know this either. My friend Narkval helped me with it, but I got a USB extender, and I was thinking about doing a third monitor, which I have, and then using that just for chat.
That's what I do.
Is that what you do?
So
Okay.
I have 3 monitors, one with OBS, one with the game, and then I have like a vertical monitor which has chat.
Yeah.
I kind of split it. I have like my Chrome, Google Chrome in the bottom half, but the top half is chat, and it makes things so much easier because the OBS chat is tiny, first of all, and if chat's flying through, it makes it really hard to keep track of it. But yeah, it's a really good idea. I recommend it.
Cool. All right, we'll do. I got my dual mount. It's empty on this side, so I can actually put a vertical mount, and it would work.
Sounds like it's meant to be.
Yes.
Sounds like it's meant to be.
Yeah, and it's good to. Another thing good about the interviews is like you can consult with other streamers and go like, hey, I was thinking about doing this. What do you think about that? You know, you can bounce ideas off each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rather than just testing it out and on your own accord, see how you go. Yeah.
Well,
I think you should do it.
Oh yeah, okay, we'll do. I have a third monitor, so I will set it up in. Okay, I had to put my Instagram on private just because of. I'll tell you about it later. But I had to put it on private. But when I do put the third monitor up, I will tag you. I will open it up, tag you, like come on in, check this out.
Can't wait to see it.
I had I was interviewing ASM artists. I was thinking about getting into that so much so that I bought a Yeti mic to like get into it, and I was like, let's see where this goes.
With the Yeti mic sound, is that what you're using now?
No, I'm just using a mic with a pop filter, just a regular mic.
Oh, okay.
And then this guy here, I plugged it in and I turned it off. And I turned it on, I'm sorry, and it disabled my input and output. It sucked everything up.
Wow.
Ooh, Slendermonk says, Wombat, how's it going? He says, hey, boss.
Slendermonk? Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, so I turned it off, I got scared, and I'm like, oh my god, I have an interview I have an interview today, don't do this to me, Mike, so turn that off.
How long ago did you get the Yeti?
I got the
really
Yeti like
recent?
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Oh, okay, so it's brand new.
Yeah, I don't know much experience with it, but that's what the experts use.
Yeah, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Don't ask me. I use a similar mic to what you use, but I've heard the Yetis are great. But in saying that, your audio quality is fantastic. Anyway.
Oh, thank you. So is yours.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alrighty, let's see what we got. Waiting for some more people to pop in, or unless it's 9 now. I mean, we can go now if you want. What time is it
I'm
for
cool
you?
to go now, man.
Where you're at?
It just hit 4:00 in the afternoon.
4 p.m. and that's in Australia.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's right. Down in Melbourne, Australia, the southeast corner.
Ah,
yeah.
Cool. So tell me real quick before I get into the interview. Is there like my older brother? We wanted to travel there all the time, and he told me we looked online. This is like 1999, I think. We looked up this city that's supposedly underground because it's so hot on the surface, that everything has to be put underground. Is there a city like that in Australia?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
And if there is, I want to go there. That sounds awesome.
Desolation, welcome. Looks like, you got the wombat. Got the wombat emotes going.
Good to see you, buddy.
Howdy hype. Okay, yeah, because we looked up and I'm like, I've never heard of that place. I mean,
never heard of that. I'm gonna throw that a quick Google.
Okay.
No, it is like, I mean, don't be wrong, it's hot here, but I would say it's equally as hot in certain parts of the States. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like deserts, right?
Yeah. Like I mean, my Celsius to Fahrenheit transitional conversion isn't great, but I think it reaches like 130 degrees Fahrenheit here on a hot day. Do you know what I mean? Like,
wow, that's like insane. The real Rudra, sorry. Welcome. How's it going?
About that. Hey, Alpha. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Because, I did get that follow, and I was like, I wonder if they're from your, section. So I went to your Discord, and I saw the things, and it matched up. So I'm like, that's right. Wombat and Sewing, hope everyone is well. Yeah, we're doing well. All right. So, all right. Looks like... So before we get started, I wanted to thank Rubberhead28. Thank you for that follow.
Howdy, Rubberhead.
So I want to welcome Wanted Wombat to the streamer interview. We do this weekly. It gives us a chance for me to meet his community, for my community to meet his, to bounce ideas about streaming and like hobbies and food. It's just, real nice way to just talk to friends and on here and get to know each other. Yeah. So, welcome, man. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Thank you for having me. And thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. I remember I met you in Swole's interview, right?
Yeah.
You popped in and you were laughing because Swole and I were trading off things, and I remember Swole was basically accusing me of inviting him to ask him questions about girls or something like that, and you were just sitting there like, I'm loving this.
Standard Swole.
Of course.
I think I met you maybe in his chat first, and Swole's chat at times can be a crazy place to be.
That's right.
But I think that's where we first came across each other. Yeah. And then he announced he was doing the interview, and I was like, I know this name. I've seen this name before. And, it's just gone from there, really.
Yeah, we mod for each other, so I'm sure we've met. Yeah. Wombat, where's the merch? Your Wombat shirt. That's what.
No, not today. This is very casual here.
Yeah.
Come on now, Alpha.
No worries. Let's see. All right, so first question is, what got you into gaming?
What got me into gaming? Oh man, I would have been like the age of 9 or 10, I think, when the original PlayStation came out. That was the first console I ever had, and I think my mum just got it for me as a Christmas present, just out of the blue, sort of thing. And I guess that just sort of started it from there. And I think like when I was growing up, I grew up with primarily just my mum. And she wasn't she worked 2 jobs, wasn't very well off or anything like that. So I played that demo disc on PlayStation 1 for months before I got my first game, which I think my first game would have been, it was either Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon, one of those 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I played that demo disc for so long, and like the 2 levels it gives you for every game over and over. But yeah, the PlayStation 1 was my first console, and I don't ever think I mean, look, I don't really remember back when I was 8 or 9, but I don't remember asking for it. I'm pretty sure my mum just got it for me as a like a surprise Christmas present sort of thing one year, and it started from there basically. I mean, I've always been sort of since that point a casual gamer. It's only been like the last 5-10 years that I've really become more involved and got into gaming in like a community sense and that sort of thing.
Nice.
So yeah.
KM Cat, welcome back. Always good to see you. Rubberhead says that demo disc was a dream back in the day. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. I remember we had gotten a PlayStation, and I went from like Super Nintendo to PlayStation, and we got a demo disc with like VR, soccer, and Street Fighter Alpha, and I remember playing the hell out of it. What's funny though? I didn't know what a memory card was, so I got Resident Evil 1 and kept having to replay the levels over and over and over because it doesn't save.
That's right, yeah, because it doesn't save.
Yeah.
Even just the thought of a memory card is so foreign now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like. Yep. Everything is just so easy these days.
Saves
or even having not enough storage on your memory card and having to pick, like, do I want to delete my 50 hours into Crash Bandicoot to play the new Tony Hawk's game? Like, what is this?
Yeah, well,
it's a rough.
It's kind of a problem on the Switch. Still a problem on the Switch. Nintendo, I love your Switch, but where's the memory?
Exactly.
What is this memory card you speak of? Rubberhead asked.
Yeah. Foreign idea, right?
It's like boomer certified. That's good.
Exactly.
But video games are like, I remember back in the day they would call them electronic babysitters.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like, here, honey, go play Crash. Mommy's gonna go do work or whatever. You're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not complaining with that.
So the first game you played was Crash, so we got into that. You mentioned like 10 years ago you kind of got back into the gaming scene a little bit more serious. What brought you back in?
Look, before that, I was sort of, I think the group of friends that I had in IRL was a bad influence, and I was getting to quite a bit of trouble, and I just didn't like the way that my life was going at that point.
Okay.
And I really needed something to assist in separating from that and meeting new people and meeting people with common interests. And I've always had that sort of light interest in gaming prior to that. But I ended up joining, and I think it was about 10 years ago, maybe even a little bit later than that, maybe about 8 years ago or so. But when GTA first came out, and that's what really got me back into it as a heavy or a hardcore gamer, I guess you could say.
Nice.
And finding a good crew with a good community. And just meeting like-minded, good people. Do you know what I mean? And I'm really glad I did that, because I feel like life gives you opportunities at times where it's like a fork in the road, and you make one decision that takes you one way, or you can make another decision that takes you the other way. And I think if I didn't make that decision to do that at that time, who knows where my life would be at right now? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'd be the very, very wanted, extremely wanted wombat. Be in big trouble.
Incarcerated wombat. I'm just kidding. Mary EU?
Mali.
Good to see you. Welcome. How's it going? Let's see. Water Tyrese
as well.
Water Tyrese comes in and says, just want to say hi. Wi-Fi keeps pausing the stream, so I'll be lurking. Wanted to say hi to Wombat as well. Water Tyrese is an excellent guy.
Hi, Tyrese.
Let's see. The real Rudra has a question. I have a question to you. C-Wing, why did you get the idea to interview streamers? I mean, the background story of loads of support from Wombat's channel. Also, loads of support from... I was mentioning that to him when we started the call. Okay, so what happened was... I had this idea in February of last year. I've been making content since 2007. And then I started seriously streaming 2016, but I met Total Pasta and her community in 2019. And there's ebbs and flows, and I was going through a very, very low downtime. And I had to take personal accountability for like what can I do that people will like that no one else is doing? And that's, that's where I'm like, I used to bartend, I'm a talker, like, let's do it. So
easy.
Yeah, OG 666, what's up? Fancy emotes. The Fallout Ghoul, welcome. The Fatal. Oh, okay. Let me see. I think that's the same emote.
Oh, I like the fancy emote.
Yeah. Props to Wombat for being able to pronounce my name correctly. That's what Water says.
Not a problem, Tyrese. My pleasure.
Oh, Iggy, I forgot to disable the channel points. I'll redeem those channel points for you. Sorry, man.
No, we want to see the socks on the hand, damn it.
I can do it. I will do it for you, but... So what it is, especially mouse and keyboard, I was trying to play, what's that game? Valheim. I love that game, but on a mouse and keyboard, socks on the hand is a pain in the ass. So I'm doing this for you. I do it for 3 minutes. I've had these since high school. They're crunchy. And they have like a weird smell. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No. I literally cut them. I bought them specifically for this as a handicap. But yeah, we do it for 3 minutes and it messes me up.
Great idea. I love it. Hey, Fallout Ghoul, good to see you, man.
Fallout Ghoul, yeah. Welcome. DN Dita, welcome.
Hi, Dita.
I mean, prevents sweating on the head. Exactly. So when you get sweaty in video games, you can put it on your hands. You're good.
Maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe you should start marketing them as gamer gloves.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I got athlete's foot on my hands for some reason. I can't figure out why.
What's this? The doctor says I have tinea. I don't know what's going
on
there.
But no, it's funny that you mentioned that about the video games. It steered you on a good path. I've met a lot of people. I went to therapy a couple of years, 2015. And she was asking me, she's like, you didn't do drugs, you didn't have sex, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. She's like, what did you do that kept you from, like, going to the, like, the wrong end, or whatever. And I said I played video games, and she's like, I think that helps you, and it does. It keeps you occupied. It keeps your mind in the present. So yeah, video games are absolutely helpful.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that it got to help you out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. So how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
This is actually 6 months exactly since I started streaming seriously on Twitch. There were some times in, I think, 2018 or 2019 where I tried to see if I could stream directly from my PlayStation, but my internet back then was so bad that I actually couldn't.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I've started streaming seriously from 4th of September. So exactly, it's the 4th now for me, so exactly 6 months.
Wow.
There you go.
My God, my friend, you have your trajectory
Yes.
through the roof. Congrats.
It's been a whirlwind 6 months, to say the least.
If I had a hat, I would tip it.
Thank you. I'll tip
There
it
you
for
go. There, thank you, sir. Let's see. And what was the first game you streamed on Twitch?
Well, I mean, if you take that 2018 two streams into consideration to be GTA Online.
Okay.
I think it was early 2018. I think it was like June or July 2018. But from from the 6 months, seriously, it was Red Dead.
Okay. Red Dead was the first game you streamed seriously. Yeah. Red Dead's community, it is a phenomenal community. It's the most supportive community on Twitch. Hands down.
100%. It's Twitch's best kept secret.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
You said you've been streaming for 7 years now?
Yeah, I was streaming. So I lost my systems in 2013, got them back in 2015, started streaming in 2016. It was a flop. Literally, people were putting my streams on this thing called lonelystreamers.com. Like, I didn't do that. And there's like streams that no one's watching, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I had a friend who knew Pasta and tweeted about her, and I just kind of lurked. And I had the Red Dead, and I gave up on it. And I saw her streaming it, and I'm like, you're making this kind of fun. Like, I would play this just to hang out with you guys. And after that, the rest is history. Like,
there you go.
Yeah.
But what was the first game you played on stream?
First game I played on stream, it was Infamous Second Son for the PS4.
Okay, right, gotcha.
So that was like 2013. I started streaming, or 2014, right around there.
Right.
And I just was kind of trying it out, and I'm expecting, it's funny, when you first start streaming, you're expecting like big numbers, like 20 people watching you, and you're surprised when like no one's there. You're just like, okay.
I felt the complete opposite way, to be fair.
Right.
I thought I'd be streaming just to myself for years, and it turned out to be the complete opposite. So yeah. I guess it's all what your expectations are of it, right?
Oh yeah, well, I think the only streamer I knew, because I watched, was it Justin TV? That was Twitch before Twitch was Twitch, and I would watch other streamers, or like PewDiePie, and I'm like, oh, it must be easy. You just fire up a game, and people are like, okay, let me see this guy.
People will just roll in.
Just roll in, and it doesn't work like that. And in a way, I'm kind of glad, because I've noticed, with streaming, not in your case, but from like affiliate, from starting off to affiliate, if they become like affiliates in like a week or even less than that, it kind of fizzles, or like they leave. Whereas you put in the hard work, and you go through streaming to nobody. Like, I think the biggest secret is you stream as if 100 people are there, but nobody's there. And then if you don't look at the chat, you could have 0 people and you're still having a blast. So
exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So that was your mindset going in, though. You thought nobody was going to watch. So that's where you succeeded. You already had prepped for that scenario.
Of course, and it's the same attitude that I take for, like DLCs in Red Dead Online. And people always say, like, how can you play this game for 2 years? It's because I have the lowest possible expectations. And any DLCs we get after that, I'm thoroughly surprised and excited for, rather than expecting something that never happens and always being constantly disappointed.
Oh, man. Yeah. I think, this isn't even on my sheet here, but didn't you start like a petition, right, for Red Dead?
Yeah, so the situation on Red Dead Online on PC is not great right now, to say the least. There's a lot of not only players who can't play the game, but content creators who can't stream the game at all. And that becomes a real serious matter. I mean, in a few different aspects, there's one side of it where the game's not fit for sale if you can't play it.
Yeah.
The other side of it is if there's content creators who rely on that and their community's built around Red Dead Online and they can't, they can't pay their bills because they can't play the game and their viewership is down. Like there's serious issues on that. So it doesn't feel like Rockstar's doing anything on their own accord. And, sometimes they need a big old boot up the bum in true Australian spirit. I don't know if you've seen that Simpsons episode, bringing out the boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, we got to do something, like you miss all the shots you don't take, right? So
Absolutely.
It doesn't hurt. And, worst comes to worst, Rockstar don't do anything about it and it just ends up staying the same way it is for the next 10 years. Well, then we can't say we didn't try.
Yeah. And then what, how are we doing on the petition? Like,
I think we're over 300 signatures now. So it's still like early days. I think it's only been out for a week or two.
Oh, wow.
There's still a few more avenues that we need to push it through.
Okay.
Which, I mean, is partially my fault because my time is of a premium right now. But yeah, we're nearly at 400 signatures.
That's amazing.
We're 392. I might actually do you have links disabled in your chat?
No, I don't. And you're a VIP, so you can post those. Awesome. You should be able to post those in the thing. And I do have to sign that as well. So can I click that and it won't? Okay, so I will fill that out when the stream's over. But I got that queued up. Thank you. Been pushing for that petition everywhere I can. That's what Fallout Ghoul says.
Thank you for that.
Mary says it's a great community. Black Mamba, welcome. You have so much love for this community. One of the best communities I've found on Twitch. Glad I did. Yeah, Rubberhead, indeed.
Definitely.
Danita. Oh, that reminds me. The lasso, the wombat lasso. That reminds me. You remember the swole one?
Yeah, the moonshine.
The swole lasso, where it kept going.
Oh no, I don't remember the swole lasso. Did he have one of those?
Yeah, he had a swole lasso, and I would.
See,
or a gun.
Go on.
And like he had a gun where like the chamber or the barrel kept getting bigger.
Yeah. See, you can't beat that guy. I thought that was an original idea. Nope, Swole's beat it. Yeah, Swole's done that.
Well,
Can't beat it.
You know what? We need to. I'll clip this, but it'll be like us talking about all the ideas Swole's done that we're trying to do. Like,
that we think is original, and he's done it. He's like, yeah, I did that back in 2002.
Yeah, it's a Swole cast. That's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Rubberhead, I've shared this petition as much as I can as well. I want to see changes for our PC fans so we can get back to what they love. I remember what they did, what those people did to Swole when he was trying to become an affiliate. It was criminal, like what they were doing to that poor guy.
It is, yeah. It's defamation to a certain extent as well.
Yeah. I think they took his identity.
They did, spoofing his name and then killing other streamers or other players, killing everybody in the lobby, and then it turns, people who don't know the details of what these mod menus can do turn around and find Swole's channel or find whoever it is and say, you killed everyone in the lobby, stop using the mod menu, and really he's just trying to play the game and stream the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really toxic. It's really bad.
Follow Ghoul says that's what happened to Benson P.
Yeah,
I'll have to check them out. I haven't heard of them. Benson P. Let's see. Rubberhead says best community. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, I'll have to check out Benson P also. Or I think Hazard had some problems too. Or Devil James. I remember a couple of names that came to me, and I'm like, damn, they're getting everybody.
Both of them had issues, and almost every member of the Gunslingers and Outlaw stream team, which is the stream team I started probably about a month or two ago now.
Yeah.
For sort of just to showcase and to streamline, majority Red Dead Online content creators into one place. I feel like one of the biggest problems with finding Red Dead Online content creators, and I have this problem when looking for GTA Online content creators, is that both the GTA Online and the Red Dead Redemption 2 category are saturated with both RP and story mode.
Yeah.
So especially in the GTA 5 category, it is very, very hard to find GTA Online. It's 90% RP. So I guess that's half the reason why I created the stream team. But all of the PC players on that, and literally all of them, are all having issues right now.
It's getting worse.
It's like the modders or the people who are using these mod menus for bad things are using the stream team to find people.
Shit!
Kind of a double-edged sword in one way, but it kind of feels that way.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, that's horrible, man. I can only stream Red Dead Online PS4. I can't touch the Red Dead Online for PC because I get hit as soon as you go live. I bought that game last year on PC because my goal was I was gonna do the pasta thing where like my character was the same on all the systems. And I grinded I got the Moonshine Pass, and then I saw hot air balloons everywhere. And then I just left. I'm like, I see, I know where this is going. Nope. Starts off innocent.
Whoa! That's it. Giant legendary animals, treasure chest spawning at your feet, and yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyrese, thank you. Thank you for the gifted sub, man.
Thank you, Water. Appreciate that. Here, let me give a shout out for Water. Good mod, good friend. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much, man. Now we can put those fancy emotes next to each other.
Oh, the fancy boy. He's a bit reward. He's a bit, yeah. Sorry. Interesting thing about that is that emote came to me in a dream. I literally had a dream that I made an emote of a monkey twirling a mustache with a top hat, and I was like, I asked my friend, I'm like, should I do that? And she's like, yeah. And so here we are. Actually,
great idea.
From my dream to the cup.
I love it, dude. Such a good emote. With a little monocle as well.
Yes, yep.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Awesome.
It's freaking Water showing me all my emotes. That dude almost made me cry once.
You're teasing me now. You're teasing me.
Tier 3'd me, and he showed me all my stuff, and I was like, I helped make all those. Thank you, man.
Yes, thank you, Tari.
Let's see. So the first game is so this is an interesting one. It's funny. I was talking to my mom about your name. I was like, oh, I'm gonna interview a guy from Australia. His name's WantedWombat. She goes, I gotta tune in for that, but I told you what happened earlier with her dog and whatnot. Yep. So she's not able to make it. But she said she wanted to watch it because she's like, just your name alone. She's like, I gotta see this guy. And but what is the origin behind your screen name?
So it's an interesting story. I guess there's two parts of it. The Wombat side of it was when I was about 18 or so, I started a apprenticeship. And I'm sure you have apprenticeships in the States, where basically like, you're a trainee sort of thing on doing a trade. And I was an apprenticeship for a print machine operator. I was working for this company that printed catalogs on massive printing presses. And I got put on like a special assigned printing press that did like large scale posters and that sort of thing. And the guy I worked with was just not a nice person. He was like a 60-year-old toxic alcoholic. He was basically like the people who use mod menus on PC Red Live, but in real life, right? Yeah. And he just made my life hell. And somehow out of one day, he was telling me to hurry up, and he's like, geez, you move slow like a wombat. And that's where that name came from, the Wombat. And he just, every day since then, hurry up, Wombat, hurry up, Wombat. So that's where the Wombat name came from. Okay. And when I was, because I used to go, when I first started streaming, I was going by my old name. That was just my PSN, and a lot of people knew me by that name, which was B and a whole bunch of numbers, right? And everyone thinks the numbers were just random numbers, and they all meant something to me, but that's irrelevant.
Interesting.
To the story. And I was having a chat with, I think I was in Sith Master Who's, the Last Deadeye, in his stream, and I was, talking to him casually, saying, I'm thinking about giving, now that my internet's been upgraded and I have a PC, I'm thinking about giving streaming a red hot crack. This was, early before September, June, July, sometime like that. And he said, look, the one piece of advice I can give you is if you are going to stream, it's going to be very hard for you to have any growth and to be memorable with a name that's one letter and 9 numbers. So I thought, hey, that's good advice. I got to think of another name. Yeah. And I think between September 4th, from that point, I think I had about a week and a half break where I spent just thinking of a new name and then doing a whole rebranding because I'd already done a few streams at that point. And, I had a list of probably about 60 different names that I thought of before I got to WantedWombat. They were either all taken or, I liked them, but I didn't love them. And the Wombat name, I kind of was, kind of taking the Wombat half of it and flipping it on its head. Went from an insult to something that I could take ownership of and turn around. The Wanted side of things, I guess there's a few aspects of that. The first thing is obviously being, someone who Rockstar Games have been my staple for a decent amount of time. The wanted aspect of being wanted in GTA or being wanted in Red Dead Online, but also like I was saying before that there was a point in my life where I was at an interesting crossroads where the group of people that I was involved with weren't a great group of people in hindsight to be involved with, and I really had to make a decision. And if I had gone the other way and not got into gaming and being involved in the gaming community, I very much would have been at the even more wanted Wombat. Do you know what I mean? Oh, gotcha. Not even wanted because I'd be in a lot of trouble. But yeah, I used to be a graffiti writer for some time. Or a graffiti artist, I guess. So I've definitely had a few little run-ins before, and I guess that wanted sort of thing kind of plays on that look to a little bit, but very much lesser known than I guess what my community knows it as. So that's where the name came from. Yeah, I know the story with your name. I'll ask just so the chat can know, but I know it's that HR, tricky old HR.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So C-Wing 1028 is I started work at a company and the new hire packet, C-Wing is actually part of my real name, and then 1028 is my birthday. So they just kind of lumped it in, gave me that. And so originally my name was Kazuya177.
Right.
After Tekken, and everyone thought before I started streaming, what do you call it? They thought I was a Japanese guy, and I was like, no, and they're just like, like fuck. And so I'm like, I'm gonna bring it to me. Like I'll just, this is me, this is my name, and like people are like, are you afraid people are gonna look you up? I'm an open book. So yeah, C-Wing 1028. That is the story. That's funny that you remember that.
I do. I can't remember where you said which. I think it might have been in Total Pasta's interview or in Swole's interview that you mentioned it. Or maybe in Dave's interview. I've watched a lot of them. Yeah, I've gone back and watched a lot of them, man.
Dan, thank you. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it's a new hire packet. Thank you, HR. But so you have roots in like tagging and stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, like graffiti art. So I did graffiti for another 10 years or something like that, and I mean, it wasn't necessarily just tagging. Like I used to do large 20 color murals and productions and that sort of thing. I did a little bit of that as paid work as well.
Nice.
Working for like local councils and doing I did a few youth programs as well, because the area that I grew up in is quite a low socioeconomic area. And we have like a lot of kids who come from, really disadvantaged houses. And, it's one of those things. It's all about crossroads, you know what I mean? And giving them the opportunity to make the right decisions when they come to those crossroads. And I guess being involved, like if their parents are involved in bad situations, they have a higher chance of being in that bad situation themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So trying to use art as an outlet to move them away from that. But yeah.
I'm noticing a pattern with you. Thank you. Water Tice gifting a sub to the real Rudra. Thank you, man. Water, what are you doing? Thank you, though. Let's see. Rudra, thank you. Yeah, the cup. I love the cup. I have a shirt, too. I'm wearing my Venom hoodie right now. Water gave you a follow, by the way, he said. Mac the Star, what's up, man?
Thank you, Water.
It's a late interview, but special occasion. You got to start whenever the guest is, has time. And your time, you were saying, is very precious. Like now that you are a partner and you have like a schedule, you definitely adhere to it. Giving me some of your time, I really appreciate that, man.
Hey, no problem. And a 16-hour time difference makes it hard enough. Do you know what
right?
I mean?
Mac the Star, I thought your name came from a weird Batman sidekick no one ever remembers. No, I was given like, some people thought it was like Chicken Wing. There's a girl that streams, she calls me X-Wing. She thought it was like a Star Wars typo. It's not. BX, what's up? Let's see. Water being water. There we go. Good man, just trying to lay low. Didn't want to miss this. Yeah. I've had a lot of people come to me, even my mom. Like, so my mom was like, I want to tune in for this. And, a lot of hype for this. A lot of hype.
Oh man, awesome.
Well,
again,
I noticed.
Thank you for the opportunity.
You're welcome. So the pattern I've seen with you, especially just hearing your stories, is you took a negative experience or possible negative experiences, and then you turned it on its head, and now it's working for you.
Yeah,
that's super
definitely.
Inspirational, man.
I think like it comes down to resilience in life. I think resilience is a really, really important trait to have, and if you don't have it, the ability to sort of learn to grow that trait amongst yourself, because life is full of challenges.
Yeah.
They don't stop after a certain point, even something I learned as becoming partner is a lot. I think a lot of people think that once you become partner, that's it. Life becomes easy at that point. It doesn't. If anything, I felt more challenges since I've become partner than before that. Do you know what I mean? So being resilient is definitely a big trait that I feel like I need to have, and something that I recommend having everybody to work on.
Velma IRL, 2 legends in one stream. I'm overwhelmed. Oh, I'm sorry. Wombat's real channel name isn't WantedWombat. It's WantedWombat.
Yeah, there's a story behind that.
Yeah,
well, the story behind WantedWombat was when I was first getting some merch made. I ordered some samples from the supplier, and my logo that you can see in the corner is a WW. The first mug they sent me, they've printed it upside down, and my wife thought it was hilarious. she was going, "Oh, you're the munted Mombat, munted Mombat." Now, it didn't stop there because I emailed the supplier and said, "What's going on, man? Like, if this is the quality of the product, I'm not going to keep my merch here. I'll move somewhere else." They send me a replacement. Same thing, logo printed upside down. My wife thought it was even funnier. It happened 3 times before I got the correct print sent to me. So I have 3 munted Mombat mugs sitting in my garage. Maybe at one point
collector's
I'll sign
item
and give them away as like a limited edition giveaway.
dude.
Yeah, that's the story between munted Mombat.
For Halloween, like if you have like an alter ego episode, you know, like in Star Trek, there's evil Spock and he had the goatee. Your evil, you know, alter ego should be Munted Mombat.
Munted Mombat. Yeah, like, I like it. I like it. We can do that. We can do that.
That would work. That would freaking work. Let's see. Mac is asking Wanted Wombat, what kind of games are you into the most?
Look, definitely MMORPGs are the games that, I guess, you know, sort of, I'm into the most. Specifically, GTA and Red Dead Online. GTA Online, Red Dead Online, my two biggest ones. But then again, like games like Fallout 76, those open world, third-person view games, they definitely attract me. So MMORPGs, to answer that question, simply put, but specifically Rockstar games. So I like Final Fantasy 14. No, I've never really been a big Final Fantasy guy, to be honest with you. I'm reading Mac's question there.
Yeah.
Whether I like Final Fantasy, but no, I don't know. In terms of like, I'm a bit of a picky guy when it comes to games. I'm not really like a nerd gamer, if that makes sense. And I know that sounds terrible, but like that whole fantasy dragon sort of thing, I've never really been into that. And I think the reason why I like Rockstar games is because it has a sense of like reality to it. Do you know what I mean? Like GTA Online set in like a modern world with realistic things in it. Red Dead Online to a certain extent with realism, just in a different time period. Fallout 76 also has that sort of realism. What, you know, this is what the world would be like post-apocalypse in a nuclear wasteland.
Yeah.
So I think those realistic MMORPGs is really what attracts me.
Let's see. Dudra, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. It's Rudra. I'm sorry. God dang it. I'm saying your name wrong. Dudra and Mombat. Sorry. But so you can see Wombat is very patient. Like 3 times, God, I will be furious. That's what.
3 times about the mugs? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yep.
What do you do? I'm not gonna lie, I was furious. By the 3rd time, I was like, "This is a joke. Are you trolling me? Why is this company trolling me?"
It's like one of the people that do the mods on Red Dead Online.
Yeah,
they're making your merch.
That.
Like we see his petition. Whoop.
Yeah.
Invert.
Sabotage.
Alpha. Okay, I'm gonna try to stick it in my brain to call you Alpha, Ruda. Alpha. Not a nerd gamer proceeds to be an encyclopedia of audio knowledge.
Come on now. That's a bit different.
We're all nerds about something.
That's true.
Max asking you, what is the platform of your choice?
Definitely PlayStation. I've definitely been a PlayStation enthusiast, I guess you could say, from that original PlayStation that we were talking about earlier. I have also had few Nintendo consoles, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Nintendo 64. But yeah, PlayStation through and through. I've never really been a PC gamer. Sort of like my early days of high school, I used to go to the internet cafe and play the original Counter-Strike on the LAN network they had set up there, which was, you know, in a really sort of interesting area that I lived in. I saw so many fights over Counter-Strike. I'm doing like legitimate crazy fights that you would never think would happen over a video game. Like, you know how you hear toxic people on the voice chat like, I'd bash you, rah, rah, rah. I see those things happen in real life, and it's a scary thing to see. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
I worked at EB Games, and my manager literally belly bumped another customer over different guilds. Like, the guy came to his work and was talking shit, and he bumped him, pushed him over a magazine rack. Yeah, no, it's real. They take that to heart.
Man, things go down at EB Games.
Water's asking if you've played Resident Evil. Have you played any Resident Evil games, and which ones?
No, I haven't played any Resident Evil games. One thing you'll learn about me is I am really bad with horror. Horror and gore is like, I don't watch horror films. I don't play horror games because I'm a little baby. Like, Fallout Gore was streaming The Last of Us 2 last night, and it got to a point where I was like, I need to go to bed or I'm not getting any sleep tonight because I'm going to have nightmares about this.
Oh, that's funny.
Very, very, jump scares. Oh, I think one day I'm going to get a jump scare, and I won't expect it, as a jump scare is. I'll get a heart attack, and that'll be the end of Kombat. Death by jump scare, yeah.
Yeah,
lived a very tame life. That's what they'll write on my gravestone.
God, this stream just goes to black, and it's just like, oh, okay, F in the chat, like F in the chat for real.
Yeah, rip in the chat.
Rubberhead says, Wombat has taught me everything I know about Red Dead Online. Let's see. Mac the Star says, do you have a PS5?
I do have a PlayStation 5.
Ooh,
yes, was very
okay.
lucky to get PlayStation 5 on release day. Thanks to Mrs. Wombat.
Mrs. Wombat, if you're here, thank you. Supernova, I forgot to say hello. I saw your name in the chat. Hello, I'm sorry that I missed your name. But yes, Supernova, welcome. What do you think of the PS5 controller?
Mine's having issues. Mine has it's a great controller. Like the haptic feedback is fantastic. I haven't played any actual PS5 games, so I can't really comment on adaptive triggers.
Okay.
But when if Red Dead Online, if Red Dead Redemption 2 gets an enhanced version for PlayStation 5, and they do put adaptive triggers in, like the ability to feel the drawback from a bow, it'll be an amazing piece of hardware, and it will really set that controller apart from all the other current controllers and previous ones as well. But on its own, haptic feedback, fantastic. It feels good in the hand. When it first came out, I was reviewing it often on stream because people were asking me. And I think Sony did really well because the controller feels familiar, but it also feels really new. And I think from a design perspective, that's a real winning combination right there. So yeah, I think it's a great piece of hardware. The only problem I do have is that I have drift on one of my joysticks.
Oh yeah, I was reading about that. I think Sony's going through some legal stuff over the drift on their controllers. Yeah. It's funny because you mentioned haptic feedback. That's what got me hooked on. I don't have one yet, but I remember like hearing about it and like, dude, this haptic feedback sounds amazing. Or like the resistance when you're pulling a trigger on the R buttons.
And it's one of those things with haptic feedback, you don't really realize how nice it is until you go back to something that just has rumble feedback. Yeah. And you're like, wow, this feels pretty, like the whole controller just rumbles. It just feels prehistoric compared to haptic feedback.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
Let's see. Max says, I think if you're not into horror, you should play games like Alien Isolation. Then after that, every other horror game seems tame.
Do you want me to have an early death, Mac? Is that what you're trying to say here?
Jeez.
Death by horror game.
Let's see here. Follow Ghoul says cough cough. Phasmo cough cough hides in the locker the whole time. Did you play Phasmo?
I did. I played maybe 3 games of Phasmophobia with both Fallout Ghoul and another great supporter of mine and great friend Chips. Because Chips was like, man, I really want you to play Phasmo. And Chips was one of the first guys who came through my channel organically, and we just became friends when I started streaming. And I played Phasmophobia, and fair to say, I'm not good at that game. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things as well, because I don't care enough. I'm just like, whatever. Come on, Ghost, let's get you over and done with. You know what I mean? And to one aspect it's that, but to another aspect, I hid in a locker for a while. I was like, there's too much going on. I'm just gonna close the locker and hide in here. And I think it still killed me, even though I was in the locker.
Really? Did it open the locker?
I didn't think it opened the locker. It was just black, and then the hands were on me, and I was like, oh well, I guess I'm dead then.
I think it got you. I just started playing that a week ago with my friend Narkval. Are you good with mouse and keyboard? I'm not good with mouse and keyboard, so that always prevented me from doing it. I'm like, give me a controller.
Yeah.
But
it's the same.
She was very patient with me and taught me the mouse and keyboard. And the thing with me is when I don't like horror movies. I can't do horror movies. Horror games I can, but I laugh, so it kind of killed like the whole vibe because I'm laughing while this thing's chasing me.
Yeah.
But I hid in the locker too a couple times. Yeah, it's
the easy way out. It's the easy way out.
Yeah. Let's see. Water says, damn, Resident Evil is one of my favorite game series of all time. Yes. And then BX Kill says, this guy is so positive, great attitude, all around good guy. That is a thing I had heard about Wombat. Like I knew of him from the interviews that he came into with Pasta and Swole. But I had heard, I'm like you're never really negative. Like you're always like super positive. That's the feedback that I got from you. When I saw you. And I still get that. I'm not saying like past tense.
That's gone now. He's just a super negative guy.
Interviews. This guy's starting a petition. Hello. That's good.
Excuse me, Rockstar. We have a problem, okay?
I like games with dragons. That's good.
No, I think a lot of people, or in the last 6 months I've streaming, Red Dead Online hasn't had much content, and there's a lot of people who are disheartened on the game. And then I think for some people to come through the stream and there's someone who's still enthused about playing it appears positive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm very much a realist. Like when things aren't going well, I'll call it out. Like the petition that needed to be done. You know, I'm not going to lie. The game right now is, in terms of content, is pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
I think we can all agree to that. But there's also things like, you know, it's easy to say that from one perspective, but you've got to look at like the Rockstar perspective as well. And that's another thing that I always bring up in my channels. You know, it's a global pandemic, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, they're a business. They're always going to put their best product first, because a bad business wouldn't, you know, would put their worst product first, or a product that doesn't make them any income. So I think it's all about being a realist rather than being an optimist or being a pessimist. Do you know what I mean? It's all about
it's like real. You said, the expectations are at the lowest. You still have them, right, but they're at the lowest. It makes sense. Right. Yeah. Let's see. Max says, whenever you get a console early, you're going to have to deal with bugs and hardware issues. That's very true. Yeah. DC is Dark. Welcome. That's one of my first mods ever. She's a total sweetheart. Helped me out with Valheim yesterday. Very patient. Welcome, DCS. She goes, Aussies and Brits can't handle horror. Handle their horror unlike us Irish. Kidding, of course.
I have no comment.
DCS, yeah, she's from Ireland. I usually tease her because I'm Irish too, or part Irish. Right. I tease her that she's British.
The Irish are definitely tough. That's something I've learned for sure.
I tell her, she always says she's gonna scoop out my eyes with like a plastic spoon, like something very painful. But welcome, Decius. Good to see you. D and Dita. We got the sad Wombat cries. What happened? Oh, because he died in Phasmo. Got it. And Fallout Ghoul says Fallout Ghoul died first, and you hid in the locker.
Yeah. I think Fallout Ghoul died trying to save me. Is what happened.
Man, that's rough.
From what I remember. But yeah, look, in horror and gore, I'm okay. It's jump scares that really get me. I can't do jump scares. Like, you know, I've got to put the controller down and walk away and be like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. And that's just not good for a streamer, because I'll just never be on stream, you know?
Yeah.
It'll just be constant me walking away from the game.
Mac the Star says, do you have a large backlog of games that you haven't played yet?
Not in terms of haven't played. There's a backlog of games that I want to stream that I haven't started streaming yet. And, you know, I was sort of awaiting partnership. I mean, you know, like in that, I had that realization that, you know, I'm very close to hitting partner metrics. There is a good chance of me hitting partner within the next 12 months. I'm not going to move on to playing other games I like, because it's sort of like I don't know, it's kind of like a catch-22, right? As a content creator, especially on Twitch, you know, a lot of people are pushing to, you know, increase their viewership and increase their community to be able to hit partner metrics. But at the same time, switching games and being a variety streamer before your partner can severely affect your metrics doing that. So I thought from that perspective as well that it'd be wise to hold out. And there are a few games that I do want to play on stream. A lot of the GTA story series, a lot of the Red Dead Redemption story series, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption 1, and Red Dead Redemption 2. GTA Online, I'm going to be moving into that within the next couple of months as well. Just a few days a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My channel will always be primarily a Red Dead Online channel, but yeah, it's always going to be basically Rockstar games, because that's my forte, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe every now and then we might move on to something else if the community requests it heavily enough, but yeah, for that backlog, that's pretty much it. And also, Mac, I just wanted to mention as well with the what you said about the consoles early and, you know, as soon as they come out, it's very true. It's issues we had with the PS4. You know, with bugs and hardware issues. I'm very lucky being an Australian. We have really great consumer laws that very rarely are you going to have an issue with a product that's faulty and not either be entitled to a refund or a replacement. And that was something I was aware of when purchasing the console, was that if something does go pear-shaped and, you know, whatever's faulty, being in Australia, I'm quite lucky. I'm not too sure what consumer laws are like in other parts of the world, but I'm glad that you're aware of that, because I think everybody needs to be aware of that, and you should know what your consumer laws are where you live.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So this is a long question. Alpha.
It is a long question.
Alpha says, so this is a question for both of you. As both of you are content creators and have a good knowledge, my question is, how can we or the people want to be working as a game creators or will be working in gaming media? What are the ways you guys think gaming companies should work on or improve on? Like, we all know what happened with Cyberpunk, and Rockstar has very bad impressions while communicating with their fans and players. So what do you think what gaming companies should work on? You know, I gotta say this, the company kind of frustrates me, but there is a method to their madness. I'm gonna go with Nintendo. Shigeru Miyamoto, he says, a delayed game is delayed temporarily. A bad game is bad forever.
That's really, really a good point.
So I think Nintendo's very good about it. Like, for instance, I think they had a direct where they had announced Metroid Prime 4, and then a couple directives later, they announced that they had canceled it because it just didn't meet their standards. So rather than make a quick buck off a game that sucked, they canceled it, and they told you it was bad news. The medicine tastes bad, but overall it was better for you to hear it. So I would go with Nintendo's transparency with delaying games or canceling games that don't meet their standards. That's
definitely. Yeah, definitely. In terms of that question, Alpha, so I think the cyberpunk thing is just, it's a clear indicator of how the gaming market has changed, and people aren't patient for games anymore. Everyone wants the game released yesterday. I think that's just what the world is like at the moment. We're used to getting, we're hungry, we want to order food, it's 11 o'clock at night, bang, delivery, food's here in 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? We're just used to things that are on our time rather than on their time. So I think we have, as consumers, we have very high expectations, and I think we expect a lot from gaming developers. But rushing them, as you said, is only going to create product that's unfinished. And that motto you had there was put it perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A delayed game is temporary, but a bad game is bad forever. And Cyberpunk, unfortunately, is now in that category to an extent. I mean, they still have maybe one more opportunity to really fix their issues.
Yeah.
And if they release online, hit the nail on the head. Otherwise, it's game over for that game, and it's always going to be known as the game that didn't live up to its expectations. In terms of Rockstar, I say this on my streams all the time. Rockstar's biggest flaws are security, the PC mod menu issue, privacy also goes back to that. It's communication. Rockstar are the least communicative company or developer. A week before we get an update, we know what we're getting. Apart from that, we don't know anything or what their plans are for 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, whatever. Also, their inability to interact or engage with their community is really poor. Like you see, we got some great friends of both of us that stream games like Hunt Showdown and Crytek do a great job of doing enabling drops on Twitch and actually engaging with their community, having their community submit skins to be involved in the game. There's nothing like that from Rockstar. I think Rockstar have done one Facebook gaming event in the last 5 years, and that's been about it from them. It wouldn't be hard for them to enable some Twitch drops. It would probably bring some new players into the game and some returning players back to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, so then they split the game up. They sell the online separate, which I did think was a good idea. I got my younger sister into it that way. But then they nerfed the gold streak, which I was just like, what are you guys doing? So they cared more about the quick buck than the long term, which is the community it could build with.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
They're very focused on making a profit. And look, I'm not too sure how the inner workings of Rockstar and Take-Two work. I would assume that Take-Two would say to Rockstar, if this game doesn't make us profit, we're not going to assign resources into it. Why would we spend money on a game that brings us nothing back? I can understand that. They're a business, right? But at the same time, there's a community, and it's clear that there's a community that's very passionate about the game and will stick behind them even when the times are rough. But it's also, if that community is not engaged with over a large amount of time, that community is just not going to stick around.
Nope. One of the
it's like a bad relationship.
Oh yeah, it's an abusive one.
Abusive one, yeah.
Yeah, you're gaslit. You're like, it'll get better, guys. They're gonna release. They're gonna patch it, and it'll go right back to normal.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like that. I feel like the person who's been abused in the relationship. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, the game's not great. There's no updates, but it's still at least they blah 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 blah. I'm just making excuses.
Yeah.
At one point, you know what I mean. And I don't want it to get to that point. Like the game's only been out for 2 years. It's still a short amount of time. I don't want to be saying the same excuses in 8 years' time. You know what I mean?
I saw.
They still love me, I promise.
Jim Ruthless, he's a Red Dead streamer. He was super into it, and then he was making YouTube videos, and then I literally watched this guy that made, Red Dead content, and he released a thing saying he's leaving because of all just the way they completely nerfed everything, and they kind of shit all over the product.
Yep.
And they put, like you said, so they're taking all their resources into a game that they released in 2013, and they're just like, well, this is making us money. We don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we going to sink our stuff into this? And it's like you said, too, instant gratification. I think society as a whole nowadays, a lot of it's instant gratification. So it's like tweets, like they're short, concise,
Yep.
You microwave food, you get DoorDash.
Yep.
you post a picture, you get likes. So it's like there's nothing to wait for. You want a song, you can download
Exactly. Yep.
it. Yeah, there's a method to like a slow burn or anticipating something or waiting. A lot of things are worth waiting for. Those are the best things usually.
Absolutely. And I think some of the best decisions I've made in life, regardless of what it's for, whether it's for a product or whether it's about an action, have always come after a decent amount of waiting, because I've had that time to consider. And I think some of the worst decisions in my life I end up regretting because I didn't take enough time to think about it properly. You know what I mean? I made that instant decision. So
yeah. Indeed. Let's see. DC's, I completely agreed. World has gone and got itself into a damn hurry. Black Mamba says, welcome, by the way, Black Mamba. What is the Gunslingers and Outlaws Club, and what are the qualifications to join?
So it's not really a club, it's a stream team, and its whole basis of that stream team is to showcase Red Dead Online content creators here on Twitch. I was saying this a bit earlier, but it's very hard to go into either, and the GTA category is a good example, but the Red Dead Redemption category to a lesser extent, and find solely Red Dead Online content creators. There's a lot of people who do RP, and there's a lot of people who stream story mode. And personally, when I'm looking for channels in that category, I'm really looking for Red Dead Online channels. So I thought, why don't we make our own stream team? And also, just before I go on to that, there was a time where Twitch created a Red Dead Online category, and they also had a GTA Online category, but they ended both of them. I noticed they deleted both of them. And I thought that was, like, I can understand why they did it, because it wouldn't have had much traffic. It would have been two pretty quiet categories. And I thought, why don't we take it into our own hands and make a stream team that basically specializes in that and shows that. There are metrics and qualifications that you need to hit to join by visiting the stream team, which I can probably drop the link in a
go
moment.
for it, man.
You'll be able to see what those are in the application. But yeah, we want
that's
people,
pretty cool.
If people are going to join the team, we do want them to be somewhat, serious about streaming. We don't, because there's a lot of people who might start streaming and then after 6 months they're not streaming anymore.
Yeah, we talked about.
Or people who we talked about that. Or people who will start streaming as Red Dead Online, but then move on to other games. And then what's the point of being in that channel or being in that stream team if it's for the it's for the viewers, it's for the community to come in like, oh, my usual 1 or 2 Red Dead Online streamers aren't live. Who else can I watch? You don't need to scroll through the category now. You can find those channels and you can follow them when they're offline as well.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
That's where the whole idea came from.
Remember, we were talking about this earlier when we started the call. It's sometimes like bad moments lead to really good ideas or really good solutions, and that's you're on that.
Another thing, yeah.
Let's see. Alpha, no worries. Hey, long question. That's what I love about these interviews. It's for all of us to kind of sit here and bounce ideas off each other and stuff.
We have the time, and I'm used to Alpha's very long questions as well.
It's okay. I don't need to read a book. I've already read one just now. We're good. Thank you for that, host. I can't see who is hosting me, but thank you for that, by the way. Let's see, Mac the Star Wombat. I've heard for years about the censorship in games in Australia. There's a lot of crazy rules going on that are banned there that are known worldwide. Are you aware of this?
So I'm aware of some of the censorship in Australia, and I think it doesn't only apply to games, but it applies to just media in general. And I was speaking about this on my stream yesterday, that I was saying when San Andreas came out, I think that was the game that really pushed Rockstar into mainstream media limelight. Back in a day when bad publicity was good publicity. And that bad publicity, that whole motto, bad publicity is good publicity, doesn't exist anymore. Bad publicity is bad publicity now. The days when South Park was getting a lot of publicity, Eminem as a rapper was getting a lot of publicity. There were times where Eminem was banned from entering the country for the music he made. Now, that's some extreme censorship right there. That's can't even visit the country because of the music he plays. So Australia's had a very long history of that censorship. And the censorship, I think, Australia is just a very, very strict country in what it allows into the country.
Yes.
I don't want to say that it's like, crazy, like they don't want people to know about it. Obviously, with
Samsung.
We have like a global ability to learn about everything, right? But it's even like that with biosecurity. You can't there's so many things you can't bring into Australia. You can't bring wood products into Australia.
What?
You can't bring any food products.
Tree breaker things.
Apparently everything here is so fragile. But yeah, there is a pretty, not a bad issue, but there is a big censorship situation here in Australia. And there are a lot of games that don't get made for sale. I remember when Hitman first came out on PlayStation 2, I think it was PlayStation 2, maybe even PS3, that was just not even allowed to be bought here. My uncle had a copied version. That's how I played it. But then again, having a 14-year-old watch, a 14-year-old choke someone out with a plastic bag is not really the probably what you want for your kids anyway.
Yep. You're thinking of Manhunt.
Manhunt. Sorry, not Hitman. Manhunt.
Manhunt.
Yeah. Man, that was
real
crazy.
quick, Swole, thank you for that raid. Thank you so much. 130 people. Thank you for bringing it in to see us. Swole, thank you for that. Morgoth Treebreaker, thank you for the follow. Sam Sutton, thank you for the follow. Let me just welcome people real quick. Hello, Catgut, how's it going? Yin, welcome. Jean Gomez, welcome. How's it going? Assassin Peach, hello. Full house here tonight. How's it going, everyone? Decius. Swole wouldn't let you raid, so you had to host. Yeah, I think it's the Discord call, Swole. But welcome. I didn't want to interrupt you, man. So you know what I mean? I've never had this happen before on an interview. But thank you. Let's see. See what we missed. Let's see. I still send posts in every swak them. You can't swak a tweet. What does that mean? A swak tweet? Is GTA 4 banned in Australia as well?
No,
okay.
It's not.
Okay, Mac wants to know Arthur or John?
That's a good question. Arthur is a great character, and I thought before Red Dead Redemption 2 came out that Rockstar would never match what they did with John. But they did in one game. Arthur is great. And if there's a Red Dead Redemption 3 and that also has Arthur based in it, I think that in my books, Arthur's going to jump John. But at this point, if you combine Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2 together, John's a great character.
Yeah.
And, the whole game is based around him and his search for redemption. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, John is my answer there, but Arthur could jump that in the future. We'll have to wait and see.
Swole's favorite character in Red Dead, I remember him telling me it was Uncle.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Uncle's a great character. Uncle's a great character.
Decius, let's see. Swak means sealed with a kiss. When you post a letter, you seal the letter with a kiss on lipstick. You can't do that with a tweet. Okay. You could put a picture of a kiss on a tweet, Decius? What are you talking about? I can't bring Granny's lemon pie on... You can't bring Granny's lemon pie on a plane?
We might have to make special exceptions for you.
Okay, what? I've noticed censorship has gotten worse everywhere, to be honest. That is true, Swole.
Yeah.
Google or Facebook was banned in Australia, right? I mean, recently. That's what Alpha's asking.
Yeah, Facebook News. I think Australia, I don't know what the situation is there because I'm not too up to date, but it's something about the news on Facebook in Australia, news outlets or something like that.
That is actually, that's smart. Oh God, Iggy says, can I bring off-brand Vegemite?
Huh. Hey, I like Vegemite. I've never tried off-brand Vegemite. Bring it over.
Iggy also asked, I forgot this, he actually asked this question. He said, what is your favorite animal? And why a wombat?
Ooh. So the wombat really just goes back to that story I told before on the origin of the name. In terms of favorite animal ever, oh man, that's a hard question. I don't know. I find tigers really interesting. In particular, like the tigers from like Bengal tigers and those that lurk around the swamps and the mangroves. Something about that sort of environment and those tigers. Something crazy about them. And I watched a documentary one on them and how they get hunted and tigers are amazing. Tigers would be one of my favorite animals, I think. Yeah.
All right.
I also love dogs and cats and those sort of pets and stuff. I love all animals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only animals I don't like are kangaroos.
Really?
Some people are going to think like, you're Australian, how can you not like kangaroos? Kangaroos are just the meanest animals. They're just not nice. They're not friendly. If you ever come to Australia and you see a kangaroo, don't go next to it because it will kick you. They're not nice.
And they're buff too, right? Like I think they can actually crush like tin cans or something.
Yeah, they're super muscly and they're aggressive and they're just not cool. And they, if you have a picnic, they come up to you and they want to try and take your stuff. You get robbed by a couple of kangaroos.
Are there YouTube videos of that, by the way? I got to see this.
There's a YouTube video of a guy. So I think there might be a farmer and a kangaroo caught his dog and was trying to kill the dog. And the guy ran over and just punched the kangaroo out, and the kangaroo let go of it eventually. But yeah, if they grab you with their hands and they bounce on their tail and kick you, I think they could break your sternum and stuff like that. They're super, super strong animals.
Wow. Let's see. Wow, Swole, my mom's a kangaroo.
I'm laughing at that. I once had a kangaroo spot me on the bench. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Go
Wow.
on, mate, you need a hand there.
Swole wants me to end the stream. Wow. Thank you, Swole. That's good. Let's see. Mac the Star says Manhunt 2 is censored even in America, but you can see the level 3 executions with a Game Shark and other mods. Yeah, I had Manhunt 2 for the Wii of all systems. Nintendo brought that over, which was interesting. Swall, are you saying my mom spotted you on a bench, you bastard? Alpha says Mangrove Forest. Oh, there's another question. Alpha says Wombat and myself, Vegemite or Milo?
Well, they're both awesome. I'm not going to lie. I had Vegemite today before the stream on a bagel, and it was great. I love Vegemite. I'm very much a savory person over a sweet person. For that answer, Vegemite. If you can get the perfect Vegemite ratio on a perfectly buttered piece of toast or a bagel, nothing better. Nothing better in the morning. But in saying that, Milo is awesome, but there's a lot of things that are similar to Milo. It's just like a chocolate malt drink, you know what I mean?
I'd probably go with Milo then.
Yeah, it's good.
Huh.
The trick is to have milk with your Milo, not Milo with your milk. You know what?
Nice. There was actually something that you mentioned earlier, and I was meaning to ask this. We haven't even... We're on like the fourth question of the whole thing, but it's been so interesting. So you said when you hit partner that's when there's new challenges there. So what would you say is the difference in challenges between being an affiliate versus being a partner? What have you noticed?
Look, I think when, it's not really a challenge, the difference between affiliate or partner, but I think it's around that time period. And I think that one thing I noticed with a lot of channels when they were on the push to partner from affiliate was that they really hyped partner. And when they hit it, they lost a lot of viewership. They lost a lot of support because a lot of their viewers felt like they hit their maximum potential. Do you know what I mean? Like they made partner, that's it. My support is can move on to other channels who need support. And I never really sort of talked up my partner status, even for I had 2 applications. My first one, I didn't even mention that I had an application in hand because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want my viewers to think that is my goal for streaming here on Twitch, because it's not. Yeah. My goal to stream on Twitch was to provide entertaining content, to provide an education on the mechanics of the game, and to provide information for other people to provide onto other players, and it snowballs. Do you know what I mean? That wasn't the be-all, end-all, and it still isn't the be-all, end-all. The work starts really now when you're at partner. Twitch give you more tools, some more tools to go on, and you've got to think as a content creator, once you hit partner, what you can do to retain your viewership, and you got to think about that as an affiliate as well. It's more a time-based thing rather than affiliate or partner.
Ah, okay. Let's see. Max says, what does it feel like when a kangaroo's pouch? Oh, what does it feel like in a kangaroo's pouch? Is it slimy?
Yes, I would assume it is slimy and sweaty, but I've never really been in there. You know what I mean? Okay. As a wombat, we generally stick to wombats' pouches.
Ah, there we go.
Wombats have pouches too.
For me, I'll answer that animal question. As you know, monkey's my favorite animal. I don't. Yes. That's my Chinese birth sign. When I was a kid, I can go into like the backstory of my parents being gamers, but they were, and our grocery store had Donkey Kong, so this was like 1984. I don't know if Donkey Kong made me like monkeys, or did I like Donkey Kong because it was a monkey? I don't know which one. But black cats, scorpions, and polar bears I will throw in there for my other animals.
Well, scorpions are awesome.
Yeah, Scorpio. So that's another my birth sign.
Makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Sam Sutton, time period in history you'd most like to go back to?
That's a great question.
Go ahead.
A great question.
What would you say?
I mean, there's a few time periods I love. I love that medieval time period. I think is really, really cool. And there were talks of Rockstar making a medieval times game. That would be, I'd be all over that like a rash. Also Western times, the late 1800s in America, the Red Dead times, that would be amazing. I'm also a big fan of like the 50s and the pinstripe suits, the mafia, Tommy guns, that sort of period is really cool as well. Even the 80s, I would love to go back into that time where like classic rock, and
it was fun.
I was born in the early 90s, so I would have loved to have been a teenager in that time, because I think it would have just been a lot of fun. And I think that was like the last sense of purity we had in life before we got information overload, technology overload as well. So I would have liked to experience that. But yeah, that's... What about you? What's your time period?
Okay, so a couple time periods. So I would go Samurai. I love one of my favorite shows of all time, Kage no Gundam. Sorry, it's a samurai show. Some of my favorite movies are Jimbo, Seven Samurai. Akira Kurosawa movies. I love that time period. I also like. You guys ever see that Sleepy Hollow movie with Johnny Depp? It's a Tim Burton
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it myself.
That time period, so I guess it's like the witch trials and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I love the 90s though. A lot of like my musical taste and like even a lot of my things are from the 90s. And I, like you said, it was I do view that as like the last innocent time. Like I remember being in high school in the late 90s and we got internet for the first time, and it blew me away. But like there was a time before that where it was just kind of innocent. You had to wait for things, and I had to record songs off the radio.
Or you wanted to call someone that had to be at home.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You actually had to make an effort to be a friend.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just easy. You know what I mean? Like I'll text you, I'll reply when I want, I'll catch up with you when it's cool for both of us.
Yeah.
It was a different life back then.
And the one thing, it's like a blessing and a curse. So we have these devices that give us all this information. We can track where people are, and cell phones. It's like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. Like, oh, I get to see where they're at, or I get to see if they really are online. Blah, blah. And then like friendships or potential relationships break over not liking a photo on Instagram versus liking another one, or being in someone's stream.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so
it's
crazy. I do miss the simpler times for sure.
100%.
Let's see. Swell says is the fucking Swell. He's the biggest troll. It's a song Down Under by Men at Work, Australian national anthem. Is that their national anthem?
It's a 50-50 Swell. It's either that or This Is Australia by a band called Ganga Jang. If you haven't heard it, you should go check it out.
Fucking Swell. Let's see. Yen says, I saw Jack Hanna episode like Steve Irwin where the kangaroos fighting in the backyard, random to wake up to. They box. I think they box.
They do.
Yeah, they just straight up box.
I think it's more the grappling that they're trying.
Is that right?
It looks like they're boxing. Yeah, because their back legs are where all the muscles are. They got like T-Rex arms. You know what I mean?
Give you a suplex. Huh?
Yeah, exactly that.
Decius says, I'd go back to Viking age. Maybe I could get kidnapped by a handsome Dane and live a life in Scandinavia. Theseus, you're crazy. Let's see. Alpha. Australia is also famous for the Wild West area. Really?
It's true. Yeah. In Australia, I guess outlaws were called bushrangers, and there's a famous bushranger, Ned Kelly. They actually sort of parodied him in Red Dead Online. There's a mission where you wear the suit of armor, and it's got just like the eyes clear. One of the most famous bushrangers in Australia, who was robbing banks and robbing caravan escorts and all that sort of stuff, was wearing that suit of armor, and his downfall was he got shot in the legs by the police. That's how they got him.
Wow, that's crazy.
He was actually the last person to ever be executed in a prison in Australia by hanging.
Wow. Interesting. All right, Swell, I will see you later, man. Have a good one. Thank you for that raid. Man. Let's see. Alpha says electronic music. Yeah, the synthesizers. Yes. Rem, welcome. I thought I missed the interview. WantedWombat. So Rem knows about your alter ego.
Yeah. WantedWombat.
Decius, bloody hell. When I was in high school, we had the Troubles and the Civil Rights Movement. You guys get internet and cell phones. Hey, I was born in I'm 40. I was born in 1980. I had to deal with Cold War stuff.
True.
Wasn't as bad as your stuff, but we still had to hide under the desk for like nuclear bombs from like Russia.
That's scary that was a reality at one point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's see. Rem says, this is amazing. Two of my favorite people in the same stream. Loves you both. Loves you back. Yeah, I'll give you that. Let's see. Yen says, my turntable with 400 records, VCR, cassette player, N64 games, all in my room. I have that. I have a record player. I have a vinyl record player like right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, I still keep up with the classics, but I do like having like, I was watching WandaVision and they played a song in that and I'm like, I want to get that song, and I just bought it.
Yeah, it's easy. Everything's on demand now, but I also love, there's something about vinyl and the sound of vinyl.
It's better.
You can like hear the waves of the audio rather than just compressed digital audio. It really is different.
No, it's better.
I love vinyl too. It's definitely one of my bad habits is spending money on vinyl.
Oh god, I remember Yahoo Serious. I remember him. He played him in a movie. Ask WantedWombat, how is Cups going?
We already talked about that, Ren. We already mentioned that, man. Yeah.
Let's see. Max says, how did Australians go from having so many outlaws to being the nicest people?
Hey, don't take me as an example. There are some really nasty Australians. The world's full of good and bad people. Doesn't matter which country, which race, which religion. There's good and bad people.
Indeed, Spot on. Spot on. Let's see. If you could replay any game for the first time, what would it be?
Ooh, that's a great question. I don't know. That's a real tough question too. GTA 4 is one of my favorite games, and that transition from San Andreas to GTA 4 in terms of graphics was a big jump in my opinion. So replaying GTA 4 would be great. And the storyline for GTA was awesome. I don't know. That's a hard question, Dieter. Red Dead 2 as well. Great story mode. That blew me away. The first 20 hours I spent playing that game, I felt like I was in another dimension. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I was in reality. I don't know if I was sleep deprived because I finished a 24-hour flight from Paris, landed, went straight to the game store, picked up my pre-ordered version and played for 20 hours straight. So I went for about 2 days with no sleep. It could have been that. That could have made the game feel even better, but I like to think it was the game as well. Do you know what I mean?
I might go with maybe Metroid Prime just to explore, but then Metal Gear Solid 2. Ooh, 2 and 3 were so good. I remember at the end of 3, I was like, this is my favorite game ever.
Like, iconic games of the generation, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Bowling with Roman. Yeah, exactly that.
DC, you still love your 45s. Yen says Mario 64. Final Fantasy 7 for DC's. Love to play the game all over again. Sam Sutton. My dad's got Ned Kelly quote. Such is life on his ribs. He was born with Marie and us.
I think such is life is what he said before he was hung. Something like that.
Okay. Let's see. Rem says my bro has a Ned Kelly tat of what it looks like Ned bursting out of his skin.
Mm-hmm.
What? Sorry. Let's see. All right, so we're actually going on to the next question. We're catching up. Oh my god,
we're catching up.
Let's see. So I think we answered the question as to why you picked the mascot for your channel. We got yep. So we got that one. Are there any games you're looking forward to streaming? It could be past games where you're like, I've always wanted to stream that, or it could be future games where you're like, this one's coming out, I got my eye on it. Do you have anything on there?
We touched on that a little bit before. Red Dead Revolver, we were maybe 2/3 of the way through that before the partner push, I guess, happened, and we put it on the back burner for a little bit. We're going to get back into that. Red Dead Redemption 1, an absolute classic. I have an Xbox 360 now. I just need to get the game, and we're good to go for that. Red Dead Redemption 2 story. A lot of people ask me, have you completed story mode 100%? No, I haven't, because when Red Dead Online came out, I wasn't finished, and I haven't just gone back to story mode since then. Also, classic GTA titles. GTA San Andreas, GTA 4, GTA 5 story mode I'm not sold on yet, and also a bit of GTA Online. Plus, we might as well throw Vice City in the mix as well.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I got content for years in terms of that, and slow play, replayability.
Yeah, so, Rockstar games for sure.
Rockstar games. Yeah, I'm very much a Rockstar games enthusiast. That's my forte. Don't get me wrong, I like other games. I've played games like Call of Duty, and for those of you who've been on my channel, you know how much I suck at free aim, and I always make that joke that if I ever put Call of Duty in my PlayStation, I play one game before the game ejects itself, puts it into the case, and then returns itself for a refund.
Let's see.
What about you, Steven? What's next on your agenda for your games?
Fallout. Good night. He says good night to both of us.
Good night, Fallout.
For me on the horizon, so past games, I'm going to say Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Those are games I've always wanted to stream. Yep. A Link to the Past. I got to stream Donkey Kong Country 2 and Mortal Kombat 2 finally, so that was like a huge thing on my bucket list. Upcoming games, Resident Evil 8, and Breath of the Wild 2. Right,
both sound awesome.
Yeah, man, oh man, I'm playing Breath of the Wild 1 right now, and I'm having a blast. I beat it before, but I actually wanted to beat it on stream, and then I have like these little amiibos that you scan onto your controller and it drops loot in the game.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They have these little things on there.
Isn't there another game like that for that Nintendo make?
Yeah, well, Nintendo does all these amiibos, and you scan them and it drops things. And there's so many, like, there's little things in Breath of the Wild, like you can light grass on fire, and like the fire will create like hot air, and you can jump and put your cloth over it and kind of float. DC's don't ask me to play the Spider-Man game again. There's a reason I would never play PS4 Spider-Man or the sequel. DC's, damn it. Let's see. Did you ever play the original GTA? It was my favorite of the bunch. For PS1, no, I didn't. That was a top-down view. I never played it.
Yeah, I had that on the original PlayStation.
Okay.
I
Rim's
sucked at it. It was hard and I was terrible, but I did have it.
Rim's got a question for you. It's specifically for you. How tall are you? Your height is deceptive.
I'm about 180 something centimeters. So I think it's like 5'10". I'm not tall.
We're about the same height. I'm same height. Yep.
Yeah.
Pepsi Man, that's a Japanese game, Yin. Pepsi Man on PS1. Yeah, that's a Japanese game.
I've never even heard of that. Pepsi Man?
Yeah, Pepsi Man. He's running like it's like a Rails game almost. Like you can go left to right.
I know that game. Yeah. I've heard of it. Yep.
Favorite games, Mortal Kombat. Favorite Mortal Kombat games like Trilogy and 10. Are you you're asking me this? My favorite Mortal Kombat game is 2, then 1, then 4. But I'd say Mythologies too. So I'll just say this real quick. I'm such a fan of Mortal Kombat in general. When I was a teenager in high school, I used to write the actors that played the characters in the games. And one of them wrote me back, and I'm still friends with her in real life. And I'm supposed to do an interview with her soon. And I have an autographed picture of her. She was the actress that played Sindel in the video games. Right.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, Mortal Kombat Mythologies and Trilogy. Yeah, those are good ones.
I played a bit of Mortal Kombat in my younger years.
Oh yeah,
good fun, especially when it was a true multiplayer game. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you had to actually play with someone with two controllers plugged into the same console. You know?
Start hitting each other. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Velma says, unpopular opinion, my favorite GTA was Liberty City Stories. So you had a Vita.
Yes, Liberty City Stories is. I have that on Vita at the moment, actually. Great. Also, one of probably the best soundtracks out of all the GTA games.
Is that right?
There's a drum and bass radio station on there. Oh, amazing! I played that when I was on my 24-hour flight to Europe, and that got me through the flight easily.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mary. Thank you. Good night. Mary, you.
Good night, Molly.
Molly. I'm sorry. Molly. Good night. I'm sorry, Marley. I have a sorry counter.
Molly.
I've just jacked that up with your name. I'm so sorry about
Good
that.
Night, Peter. Good night, Fallout. Thanks
let's see. Decius is crying at the fact that you said 160 centimeters. Instead of feet and inches, I think she likes the metric system. Yeah. Decius. Yep. Let's see. Rem says my bro's 6'9". I'm 6'1", and I'm the shorter brother. I came up to his chest. I wish I had that problem. Let's see. Favorite fruit? Assassin Peach is asking. What do you think?
Favorite fruit? Ooh, that's a good question. I love peaches. I love apricots. I love those stone fruit. Green apples. Oh, I love a good sour green apple. A cold sour green apple on a hot day is so refreshing. Not a big banana guy. I also love citrus fruits. Orange, lemon. You know, an orange and lemon juice or a smoothie.
Yeah,
that's
citrus.
What I'm talking about right there. Yeah, citrus.
Yes. Yep. I would go with everything he said. And I'm gonna add pineapples and cherries to that.
Cherries, I can agree with. Pineapple, I'm not a fan, but I'm also gonna throw in watermelon. Nothing better than fresh watermelon juice.
I'll let you have that. I'll leave that one off for me.
Okay, fair enough. We'll have to agree to disagree on pineapples and watermelon.
There we go. No Scope the Pope. Hello, welcome.
Hey, No Scope.
Let's see. Where did we leave off? If Wombat doesn't say banana, I'll be disappointed. Rem, that's what Rem says.
Sorry, I hate.
I don't like bananas either.
My least favorite fruit.
People are like, "Oh, you're a monkey, so you must love bananas." I hate bananas. At Jamba Juice, if I have a smoothie made and I can taste bananas, I throw it out.
See, I don't mind the taste of bananas. It's the texture that I don't like.
Yeah,
that gluggy. Oh.
Yeah, it's got a film on it. Yeah, I'm good.
Or banana bread. I love banana bread. Don't get me wrong. Banana bread toasted with a bit of butter. Oh, yeah, all day. But actual bananas? I'll take a hard pass on that one. Thanks.
Do you like kiwis?
Yeah, I like kiwis.
I love kiwis.
Kiwis are nice. Delicious.
Let's see. DC says, no, I'm 5'2". I was crying about how tall you people are. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Yin says, nothing better than a mango smoothie. Cherries are gross, but ripe cherries, I love just cherries are good.
I do like mango as well.
Mangoes, I'm iffy on that one. My let's see. Rem says, my like a banana comes from easy to eat while working in a call center for years.
Yeah, true.
Starfruit. That's what Yin says. You know, dragon fruits are derived from cactuses.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. I drink the dragon fruit vitamin water.
Right. I can kind of see from the outside of what it looks like how it would be related to a cactus, but yeah, I never really put two and two together.
Oh, I mean, cherry ripe the chocolate bar. That's the only way you eat cherries. Got it, Rim. Hey, by the way, I was gonna ask you too. Have you ever eaten a candy bar called Velvet Crunch or Velvet
Violet Crumble?
Violet Crumble, yes.
The trick to eating Violet Crumble is you smash it up in the packet and then open the packet and just get it into your mouth rather than eating it like a bar.
I was telling my friend Narkval about that candy. They used to eat it and it just melts in your mouth. It is the most. It just dissolves. It is so delicious.
It's just honeycomb. Yeah, honeycomb
covered in chocolate. Yeah. Oh my god.
200 IQ player right there. By I think it's Cadbury or Nestle, one of those two.
Cadbury. I like their dairy milk. Best chocolate, hands down.
Yeah. That is.
Whoa! What is
Water it? Gifting a sub to Decius Dark. Water, thank you so much. Let me give you a shout out again.
Let's go, Water.
Water. My god. Thank you, man. Let's see. Ab General Lee. Hey, Wombat. They're
Hey, General Lee. Good to see you, buddy.
Let's see. Cactus is good. I put it in stir fry. You can eat a cactus?
Wow.
What?
I didn't even know that.
And my voice broke. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. It's funny. I was interviewing Hispanic Titanic, and like the second question, I'm like, so anyways, like my voice just completely went to like high school.
You sounded like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I literally on my thing.
Are you fucking kidding me, Kurt?
I literally have a button on my stream deck that says Zoinks. Like Zoinks, Scoob.
Oh, that's perfect. That's amazing.
Yeah. Let's see. So there's other questions I have, but you've kind of answered them already. Hey, Mrs. Wombat, thank you for that follow. Is that
Wombat? Hello, that's the real Mrs. Wombat.
There we go. Hey, Mrs. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. You're...
I don't know if she's home or not. Hello, Mrs. Wombat.
Oh yes, cactus leaves are kind of olives. They remove the thorns. Interesting. I wanted to pop and say hello before I go to bed. All right, General Lee, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you for showing support for Wombat.
See you, General Lee. Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you.
Let's see. So we know, are there any games coming out that you're looking forward to? Are there any go-to games? We know that's Red Dead or Rockstar games. Mm-hmm. Here's the next question. Are there any? So if you were to have a streamer come to you, like an up-and-coming streamer, and they were to ask you, like, hey man, like what do I need to do to at least hit affiliate? What advice would you give them?
Look, I think regardless if they want to hit affiliate or just want to, establish themselves as a content creator full time, there's a few things that they should definitely think about. The first one's preparation. I think anything you get yourself involved into, you should prepare as much as you can. Educate yourself on knowing what your audience is, knowing the programs that you're going to use, how they work, so you can utilize them effectively. And also thinking about the content that you want to produce. That was something that was big to me when I first started creating content, or even before that when I wanted to, was producing the content that I wanted to see as a viewer. That's something that I could resonate with. I think that being aware, it takes a lot of dedication. I can't tell you how many times I've had under an hour sleep and then gone and worked an 8-hour shift and finished work and gone back to streaming. Try and focus on quality, your audio, your video quality, and being a quality entertainer, because that's what you are. When you stream, you're this is an entertainment product that you offer.
Yeah.
Consistency, it helps if you can have a schedule and stick to it, or even if you can't have a schedule that's the same time each week, just letting your viewers know at one day a week, this is what my schedule is like for the next week. Do you know what I mean? So people can know when to expect you. Focusing on building a community rather than anything else, that's massive. And that was a big thing for me, was I wanted to meet and engage with people who had the same interests, who had the same passion for the games I play. Networking also helps, rather than, and it's not one of those things where you go into a channel and say, can I have a shout out? It's being involved in other people's communities so you can understand that sense of community and how important that is. And I think the last thing to it is there's a lot of timing and luck to it. I think I got really lucky with my short time here on Twitch, and from 0 to 6 months, and lucky to be offered partnership. I think there definitely is a lot of luck that goes into it. And timing, timing and luck go sort of hand in hand, but I was lucky that I think Red Dead Online had a little bit of resurgence when there were a lot of new players coming to the game because of the standalone version. Yep. And I had, I had content to offer them and education or information to offer them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Awesome.
What about you? What would be your
Um,
few tips for
my few tips,
up and
like you said,
coming?
networking. That's a big one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Having goals. So like, for instance, I always give this example. So like, for instance, my cousin, I helped him become an affiliate, and
Yep.
I was like, I asked him when he hit it. I'm like, all right, so what are we gonna do, man? What are the emotes? What's on the horizon? Like I'm excited for him. He goes, I just want to see if I can do it. There was no passion in it, and I was kind of let down. So like having a genuine passion for it.
Hmm.
I've said streaming in front of 0 viewers is if there was 100 viewers. So
Exactly.
whether you have 0 or 100, you maintain the same enthusiasm.
Yep.
That's a big one. And then I also say this. So I've noticed a lot of people. I don't know if you've seen this too, but I see a lot of entitlement where they'll follow certain streamers that have like good emotes or good merch, or they play a certain game, and when they stream they might not have a camera, or they don't care to get a camera or a microphone.
Hmm.
And I say the people that you watch put out a product that would be similar to something that you would tune in. Would you tune into you if you had a choice, or would you tune into the other
Exactly.
people? So
Yep.
put out a product that you yourself would watch.
100%.
And I will say this to the people that don't have a microphone or a camera. If you want to put out content, there are other avenues for that. So when I go to YouTube, I don't want to listen to people talk. I don't want to watch streamers. I want to watch gameplay and how did you get through that level. So there's different avenues for each content creator. But on Twitch, as
Definitely.
a streamer, I think you need to put yourself out there, a voice at least, a camera, something that we can connect to,
Yep.
and then just let people know what you're working towards.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Um, let's see. Um, DC says one of the reasons why I would never stream. Tech is scary. I press the power button, the computer comes on. I call that a win. Well, you're here. You're here, so that is a win. I've tried to get her. I've tried to get DC. My first Red Dead stream ever. I partnered up with her. She didn't do
Yep.
voice chat, but she's teasing me the whole time. But she didn't get on voice chat. But I was begging her. I'm like, please, please get on. Rim says you're both. Let's see. Rim says what you're both good at is viewer interaction. If people don't interact, I move on personally. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm on Twitch, like you
Hmm.
guys, I'm an introvert, believe it or not. And when I'm streaming, I'm giving you guys part of me. Like I feel like I'm
Yep.
giving you part of me. Like for better or worse, this is it. And
Yep.
yeah, that's yeah. Just and you guys are giving me your time. That's special. And I've had talks with people about this. Just in general, the most important thing you can give someone is your time. You could be
Exactly.
anywhere else, but you're
100%.
here. You know.
Exactly that. And it goes back onto that whole community side of things. I mean, if you're not going to engage and interact with your chat, then you might as well just not stream. You might as well just play the game
Yeah.
for yourself because that's what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just sitting there, people chatting in your chat and you're not replying to them. Yeah.
Yeah. Or record it and put it on YouTube. Just
Or
with
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like Red Dead Redemption gameplay. This is how I did the heist.
Yeah.
There you
Exactly
go.
that.
Boom. Let's see. Let's see. Rim says, as I always say to streamers, act the way you want your viewers to be. That was a lesson that I've learned the hard way. I
Mm.
just recently started learning this lesson right around my birthday. I interviewed I am Lucy May, and
Yep.
I asked her. It's gonna go to this question's gonna go to you too. But I said, what do you do if there's trolls and whatnot? And she goes, well, you and your mods dictate how the viewers are gonna be. So like I had mods here earlier that sometimes they'd playfully give me shit, but to the viewers that are coming in, they would see that and then they would do it because they thought it was like
Hmm.
okay. And
Yep.
like if you're just meeting them for the first time, you might ban them or take it the wrong way.
Yep.
I actually had to ban a mod because I was streaming. Was it Mario Sunshine or something? She comes in
Right.
and she was like, "Oh, you're a loser, and everyone that watches you is a loser." I lost 5 people that stream.
Wow.
And so I had to talk with her, and I'm like, hey, could you not say that because it's kind of setting a bad example.
Yep.
I'm trying
Hmm.
to be a little bit more positive, but you can still tease me a little bit. And she was like, "F you, I'm out." And
Wow.
yeah,
Out of nowhere.
out of
That's
nowhere.
pretty crazy. You definitely set the tone for what you expect from viewers in your channel.
Yeah.
And everyone's expectations for that is different. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I like people coming in and having a good time as well, but there are certain things that are just unacceptable in my channel. And being a not mature rated channel, you know, a channel that's welcome to people of all ages, as long as they adhere to Twitch terms of service and community guidelines, then, you know, as a viewer, you need to understand that as well, that what you might say in one person's channel is not acceptable in another person's
Very
channel.
true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Decius says, Slender says, I think we're all introverts. I've met some extroverts, believe me.
I think everyone has a percentage of introvert in them, whether it's a large or small percent. Do you know what I mean? Even like really extroverted people, I'm sure that they have times where they're like, I don't want to speak to anyone. I just want to be left alone.
Hulk Hogan's just like, I need to sit by myself for a second. Let's see. D says, I don't do microphones anymore. Got way too many threats. I'm not gonna read the other word. Back when I played COD, lost my taste. I wanted to hear your voice though. You're an Irish woman. I wanted to hear your voice. Decius. Speak for yourself, Slendy. Let's see. Lies. I give you all shit. You're okay. I think you're okay, Rem. Yin says, told her to kick rocks. Adios. Yeah, I it's kind of weird. It was one of those, I guess it was like a passive aggressive thing where it was like she was telling me the truth but in a joking form. I had no idea. And he lets us know where we set the bar. Are you referring to me? I think we're all having fun now, but before it was just kind of like boom, boom, boom. Like the viewers are like, okay. So for instance, I used to mod for somebody that when they would get trolls, they wouldn't let me ban them, or like people that come in and ask to boost your server or your stream by bots and whatnot, and I'd be like, can I ban them? And they'd be like, no, you can't. It's a view. And I would say, but why? And they were like, it doesn't bother me. It's people there. And I said, but it might not bother you, but it might bother like the 18 other people that are here, and then they might not leave, or they might not come back.
So it was all about that one view or that one extra message.
Yes.
That's why they wanted to keep them around, which is a pretty poor reason to not ban someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's interesting. Maybe since we're already here, I'll ask you, so if someone were to come to you and they're like, hey, I'm having a bad, I'm hitting that slump where I'm like, I might be missing views, or I'm having a bad day, or there's trolls. How would you tell them how to deal with that?
I would first get them to go back and review their own content, and analyze the data that Twitch gives you in your channel analytics. I do that after almost every single stream. I look through my analytics, see where people are coming from in the world, how they're finding my channel, review my own content, and I might see that I had a dip in this time. What did I do during that time in my own content? It may or not be directly related to what I did. Other people might have gone live at that time. There are so many metrics that go into what a dip might be from. Now, if you're someone who gets, say, 50 people average and you're dipping to 20, it's probably a sign that you need to do something new, something exciting, something refreshing. And I mean, it's all about what your viewers want to see too. You need to engage with them and see, ask them, what do you want to see? What do you want to see from my channel? And I guess whether you're willing to compromise to that or to meet in the middle somewhere is between you and your community. But I definitely think being self-aware of the content you make and you output has a decent deal to do with it.
Yeah, well, it'd be like, I totally see that. It'd be like if you owned a restaurant and you made a dish for like 20 people, and afterwards you wouldn't just go, okay, see you later. You go, hey, did you like it? Like, some people would be like, hey, can you cook the steak a little more? Could you put, I don't know, mashed potatoes instead of fries? Or like you would ask them how to make the best dish possible. So yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly that. And isn't like the whole meaning of, is it madness to do something and expect to do the same thing over and over and expect different results?
That is the definition of insanity. Yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Rem says, you can tell maliciousness as soon as someone like that comes through. Yeah. D says, I'm only allowed to give C-Wing crap. I have a band hammer and I'm not afraid to use it. Yeah, I view DC's as family. She's all right. She's not too bad. I will say yesterday I was playing Valheim, and I don't mind saying this about myself. I'm a slower learner. Like tech does scare me too, but like I'm slowly trying to teach myself. And DC's was trying to help me, and I'm just like, F this, like, like I started to get frustrated, and then it
Mm-hmm.
clicked. Like, she was very patient with me, just like Narkval. And it clicked, and then I really started to enjoy it, because I don't know if you can see, I have a scar in my forehead. I had head trauma as a kid, so
Wow.
I'm a little not as fast as, at least I think. My mom would kill me if she saw this. But yeah,
I also beg to differ.
thank you, man. Thank you. But yeah, I feel you. No, but DCS was very, very generous and nice in helping me, like, with that. So I thank you for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Um, Rem says, at least I can give him crap about playing Valheim. Hey, stop. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Talking does help. Yeah, Assassin Peach, that's the thing. We're making a product. We ask you what you guys like, and we do more of it. Like, I remember doing the streamer interview for the first time, and people came back to me and they were like, I really like this. Like, I haven't seen anything
There you
like
go.
it. Or I did this Channel Point Redemption called Draw Me Something, and I
Yep.
started doing it, and people were like, that's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And you just keep doing it. And then there's things, I forgot what I did. There was a thing where I would turn my back to the camera and I'd try to play a game. People would leave. And I would do that I
All right.
would play
People
it for
didn't
two
like that.
minutes. Don't do it anymore.
It's just trial and error. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You don't know if something's going to work if you never try it. Like, you miss
Exactly.
all the shots you don't take. So yeah.
Let's see. Velma says, did Wombat get a new camera? It looks great, and his lighting is on point.
I got a new camera a little while ago now, maybe a couple of weeks ago. And definitely not something that changed since yesterday, Velma. And thank you for the lighting. I used 2 very cheap ring lights from eBay.
Oh,
That's it.
let's see. What do you think about wanting to play? What do you think about wanting to play a new fun game, but are afraid to lose a lot of viewers? So that's an interesting question. I've asked Swole this, and I'll ask you this. I think I know your answer. But it's 50-50. So, do you believe in sticking to a one game community, or do you do variety? What do you think?
So I think the most important thing is like what you have to enjoy yourself. If you're playing one game and you're not enjoying it anymore, it would be crazy for you to not play something else, right? Because you're just going to burn yourself out, and it's going to be obvious to viewers that you're not enjoying what you're playing. The second thing is it depends also on your situation. If you're someone who's affiliate and you're pushing for partner, that change of game would maybe be a bit of a risk to take when you're in that push for partner. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're someone who doesn't have affiliate and you're trying to push for affiliate, trying to grow on variety is very difficult.
Yeah.
You will find a lot more growth based on one game, or at least a relationship of games rather than one game. So that's a tricky question. I mean, I'm in a point now where over the next 6 months, I'm going to be moving into other games. Whether that increases my viewership or decreases it, I'm not really personally too fussed. I think you got to think there's good and bad points between everything. One, I might lose some viewers who only want to see Red Dead content, but at the same time, I might pick up some new viewers who want to see the new content, and they might want to just watch me as an entertainer and myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of both. Everything's a gamble, though. Everything's just. I guess you just have to evaluate whether it's going to be a calculated gamble or not. Do you know what I mean?
So, okay, I will ask this for you and for chat. Are you guys there for the game or the streamer?
It depends on the content creator.
Okay.
It really depends on the content creator. Someone like Swole, and I say this to him all the time, I think he's one of the funniest content creators on Twitch,
Yeah.
and he could play anything, and I would watch him play it.
Yep.
I'd pay to go see him do stand-up.
Oh, God.
Like that. I think the dude's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't want to inflate his head more than it's inflated.
Yeah,
but I think
his ego's swole. Damn it.
Yeah, I think he's just downright funny. I
Yeah.
think he's funny. He's a good entertainer. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But there's other content creators who, and I don't want to sound mean or anything like that, but if they're not playing a game that I enjoy watching, I'm not really interested in watching
Got
it.
it.
Do you know what I mean? It really depends on the person as well.
Let's see. Oddnog says streamer. Welcome, Oddnog. It looks like I'm seeing you for the first time here.
Hey, Audie.
Audie, okay. There we go. Rem or Yin agrees with that. Actually, let me see. Assassin Peachy said streamer or both. Nova's saying both. Yin says I'm here for the streamers. I can play a game or watch YouTube. Yeah, that does work. Rem says me personally, I'd love to do Red Dead Online community, but also mod first-person shooters. In this case, first-person shooters. I'm there for the streamer, not the game. For Red Dead Online, I'm there for both.
And that's the thing. Every viewer is going to have different wants and needs. Do you know what I mean? Some viewers are going to watch the streamer, and some viewers are going to watch the game.
Yes,
you can't deny that.
And
everyone's different.
That is why I've said, like, there's if you want to make content, like if you just want to make content, and you don't want to use a camera or a microphone, there is an audience for that. There is an audience that will watch you do it. You just have to find the right platform to display that on.
Exactly.
Let's see. Yin says, Swole loved playing Tony Hawk, but only a few of us liked it, so he moved on. I understand, though, he's trying to get that partner. Was that before Partner? I remember him playing Tony Hawk. I actually love that because it reminded me of the 90s. Rim says, your interviews are the best, Seawing. I love your aspect. Your game playing is fun, too. But this is the best part for me personally, and always better if I know the person, and thank you for what you do. Oh, Rim, my heart. My heart. Yeah, you know, this...
Isn't he a sweetie?
He is. And I will say, out of all the things I do on Twitch, this is my favorite thing, but it takes the most out of me.
It would.
I think today I took like 3 naps. Like,
wow.
Yeah,
you've had a good day, man. You've had a good day.
Yeah, and yeah, I love playing video games, but I love this the most, like us just hanging out and talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Velma's asking, how many tattoos does Wombat have? I've just seen the one on his wrist.
Good question.
Yeah.
So I'm heavily tattooed on my legs, but I'm lightly tattooed on my upper half. If I had to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe like 15 or 16, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
I have been coming from a graffiti art side or history. I have a lot of friends in that industry, so I have a lot of mate rate tattoos, and I was a practice canvas for a lot of my tattoo friends when they were apprenticing themselves. So yeah, it helps to know people in the industry because tattoos are expensive. Very expensive.
Let's see.
What about you, Seawing? Do you have any tattoos, or are you clean skin?
No. I'm afraid. I don't like needles. I don't like needles. I'm a chicken. I've got scars. I got the scar on my forehead. I've got barbed wire scars on my wrists from hopping fences, and I'm good with my scars. I'm all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Or piercings. I'm good there. I can't.
Yep. You don't need choice battle scars. You have battle scars that you didn't choose.
Girls like scars, I think.
Yeah, they do. Make me hot here, see.
Oh my god. Oh, hold on. Put on my hoodie. Oh my, that's good. Let's see. Audie says Wombat's my favorite streamer.
Oh, thank you, Audie. You're so kind.
There we go. Rim says, I shouldn't use my channel points for 2 minutes doing ASMR now. No, you shouldn't, because I can't. I gotta do the interview. I forgot to disable that, and Slendermonk made me turn it on. Just kidding. Okay. I'm here to watch the streamers. I can play games, watch YouTube. I think it was before partnership. Okay. Hopping fences, escaping from prison.
Are you fucking kidding me, Kurt?
No, kids in the 80s before computers, I used to hop fences. So like barbed wire fences, I would just try to jump over them or use a tree to get over it, and it would catch me sometimes, and scars all over.
You're gonna make everyone think you're the one to see him.
No. DC says, I grew up in a Catholic school. The nun would beat me to death if I got a tat. My grandma, I told you about my grandma. She would tell me about the Catholic schools. They beat the dog piss out of you. Let's see. Chris999, me too, no tattoos. Chris, welcome back. How's it going? Velma says, I've got 2, but I can't wait to get more. I feel bad, like, where are they? I forgot. I'm gonna ask where they're at, or what they are. I'll ask what they are. What are they? I want to ask where they're at.
In terms of where they're at, most of them are on my legs. I have one up here, one on my wrist, which is so most of my tattoos are all either moments in my life or people who have influenced my life. The one on my wrist is my grandparents' names, who are both passed away now. I have it's just like a skull and roses, and that's sort of like, that one for me interprets just that whatever life brings at me, I'm not fearful of it. And I'm, because I think that like fear is like a virus. Once you have fear in you, that it's a virus, and you can spread that virus to other people just by, instilling that sense of fear. I have like a tattoo of a ship to give me sense of direction. I have compass to always put me in the right path. I actually have a Virgin Mary tattoo, and it's a really interesting story. My grandfather, before he came to Australia in the 50s, because my heritage is from Malta, he used to have a Virgin Mary statue, and he, like, in Malta, it's a very quite Catholic country. One day he took it to school for show and tell, and he said that one kid wanted to steal it off him, and he used that for a lot of strength. And it also goes on to another story that he had a Virgin Mary bottle of holy water. And when he was younger, his family home caught on fire, and they lost all their possessions, every single possession they had. The only thing that remained unscathed in that was the bottle of holy water. And he brought that with him to Australia, and he felt like that really provided him a lot of strength from, during the war and coming to Australia. I think he spent something like 6 months on a boat coming from Malta to Australia, eating rice every meal. So it provided him a lot of strength, and he was a big inspiration for me. So.
Man,
that's a sort of homage to him. So all have pretty deep meanings. Yeah. Hey, Chris.
At least they have meanings. Yeah, there we go. Chris says hi. Rem says I have a tribal scorpion with an orange, red, and yellow through the inside of my left lower arm. Interesting.
I thought you said with an orange. So I'm like, oh, well, that's an interesting.
A scorpion with an orange. Oh, that's what I thought too. When I was reading it, I was like, with an orange, and I'm like, it's red and yellow inside of the orange, but no, okay. It's like.
Sounds like a blood orange, to be fair.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, citrusy scorpions. Okay, all right, I can go with that. Velma says my compass and mountain tattoo is next to. My compass and mountain tattoo is my next one going on my ribs. Okay.
Sounds amazing.
Sky on Twitch, welcome. How's it going?
Hey, Sky.
Let's see. Next question here. All right, so. This is an interesting question for you specifically, too. What's the future for your channel? Like, what's on the horizon for you?
So, as we touched on before, those games that we mentioned, Red Dead Story, GTA Online, my channel's always going to be sort of Rockstar focused. Unless something comes out that really grabs my attention in the way that Rockstar games have grabbed my attention previously, I don't really see it changing too much or going from that. If Twitch ever approached me and said, hey, we got some games that we want to showcase, would you be interested in showcasing them? Sure, I'll give them a try, absolutely. But from my own accord, there's really not too much that interests me. I'm pretty boring like that. It's really just continuing to provide education and information to the Red Dead Online community and trying to do whatever I can to unify that community. I mean, that's half the reason why the stream team is what it's for, is to unify, people from other channels to come together, community days, so on and so forth.
That's
the plan for
like a pillar.
Go on.
You're like being a pillar of the Red Dead community.
Yeah, more than anything, my goals for 2021 is to focus a little bit more off Twitch as well. I really want to establish YouTube content where people can go back and watch it any time of the day rather than just when I'm live. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's smart. Yeah,
guides and informative content.
Yeah, you can offshoot old streams. Yeah, it's smart.
Mrs. Wombat's getting at me saying that I forgot an important tattoo.
I was gonna, yeah.
We have matching tattoos. We have matching tattoos of our dog. We have a little cavoodle or a cavapoo, I think they're known in the North American region.
Yeah.
His name's Tetley. So we have matching tattoos there. Yes, I did forget Mrs. Wombat. Thank you for reminding me.
It might have been my fault though, Mrs. Wombat. I might have talked over it or read chat. Not him. I take responsibility. You can exclamation point blame. I'll take the blame for that. Let's see.
I blame that 100% on Kurt.
Let's see. DC says, what is your favorite book? For me, I would say anything from George R. R. Martin, like Game of Thrones. Like I love those books.
I'm not a big book guy, to be honest with you. That's a real hard question. I don't even know if I can answer that question. I think the last book I would have read would have been in high school. There's a book called Hatchet. Have you ever read that book or that series of books about a kid who survives a plane crash and all he has is a hatchet?
No.
It's really interesting. Yeah, I remember reading that in school. I think Holes has a book, doesn't it? The movie Holes.
Oh yeah, the Disney movie.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, Hatchet is a book that stands out to me the most.
Huh. Yeah. Let's see.
Any books to movies?
Any books to movies?
Holes.
There we go. He answered it. Freaking Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The game The Forest. Okay, I'll have to check that out, Velma.
What? Do you have any favorite game characters or protagonists?
I mean, look, you can't go, like we touched on before, you can't go past John and Arthur from the Red Dead series. Red Harlow to a lesser extent because it's not really a personal sort of connection in that game rather compared to the other two. Nico from GTA 4 is a great character. I think that, that like to have a character of that ethnicity in, making his way in the world in the States is I think something that wasn't really touched on prior to that. And he was a pretty relatable character, Plus he always wants to go bowling or his cousin Roman always wants to go bowling. I'm down for that. Yeah, that really pissed you off, did it?
Yeah, it did. You're bringing, yeah. You could see on my face, like, I was a telephone operator at a hotel, and then I would get home and I'd want to play, and then he would call and want me to go bowling. I'm like, I can't escape it. I can't escape the phone.
You can't escape it. And it's one of those things that's, you could be in the middle of doing something and it's like, oh, cousin Roman and Nico, let's go bowling. Yeah. Not now, Roman.
Yeah.
I'm busy.
The gun guy, the gun, he had the guns in his trunk.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you didn't hang out with him, you didn't get the good deals. I'm just like,
guns,
I don't want to hang out with you. Alpha's back. Hey, I'm back. Some stupid classes. By the way, how's the interview going? It's still going. We're still here. This is great.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Welcome back, though. Let's see. Let's see. Do you have any random pet peeves?
Oh, Mrs. Wombat?
Yeah, that might be a question for her.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a snorer. I'm a real bad snorer. I don't know. No, I'm like off the top of my head that I can't really think about or think of pet peeves. I hate slow walkers.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Move. They need to put walking lanes on the footpath. Slow walkers, fast walkers. People have places to be, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone's on holiday enjoying the view, looking around. Another pet peeve is people who are on their phone always in public, especially when walking, and they're like this, and they don't know where they are, and then they're like, oh, I'm walking straight at you, you better look at where you're going because I'm a fast walker. And, I have bad reaction times, I'm going to swerve and get out of the way. It kind of goes hand in hand. Yeah, they're probably my two biggest pet peeve, actually. I kind of forgot about those. Being in pandemic and in lockdown for so long, I forgot that there's
a time,
happen. Yeah.
Mrs. Wombat, I think they're asking you what slow annoys walkers. You, slow walkers. Yeah, you called it.
Mrs. Wombat's a slow walker.
Let's see. D says, dang it, Kurt, I was going to approve that. No, you're not a slow mod. You're okay. You take it easy. You're just here to have fun, D. D says, mine is likely Lord of the Rings. I remember reading that for the first time in 1968. It was so amazing. Yeah, what's his name? Tolkien. Yeah, he's really good. Good art.
J.R. Tolkien or something like
that. Yen says, I hate when people leave the last few seconds on the micro. Just press the damn cancel button. Yeah, that makes sense. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Talking while eating?
Yeah, so this is a funny one. You're going to think I'm crazy for this. When, there's nothing worse than going out, for a nice meal, right? And the food's amazing, and people just want to talk, and the food goes cold because you're talking too much. I think sometimes when people talk, it's like, is there a problem with your food? Because if you won't eat it, I will eat it for you, all right?
Yeah.
Mrs. Wombat, she knows what, especially when you're hungry. When you're not hungry and you're there for a social aspect of the meal, it's fine. But in a general sense, you know what I mean? We can talk after food. Why talk now when the food's hot? Don't let it cool down. As you can tell, I'm a very social person.
No, you're good. Oh man, that is so true. Because there's times where it's like you're trying to eat, and someone's like, "Hey, so anyways," and you're just like, "Put it down, okay."
Yeah, and you're like this. Yeah, and then you're like that little pause of conversation. You're like,
You look at them. Like, are you gonna eat? Like, can we get this over with, please?
Eat your food.
Let's see. But people using the microwave, bloody hell. People cook your food properly. Well, some of us don't have kitchens, DCs. People who talk on their phone and the loudspeaker in public. Yes. Oh, Sky.
Yes.
My boss does that at work. He comes in, and his dad does it too. And they have their phones just out and they're on speakerphone. And I'm listening to real estate things that I'm like, why are you letting me listen to this? And I jokingly said one time, I'm like, one of these days they're gonna have one where you hold it up or something or sideways. And only you can hear it. And you're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, technology.
Another pet peeve is people who play music loudly on public transport.
Oh, yeah.
Where people are just playing music from their phone and it's like, buy some headphones. You know what? Here's my headphones. Just take them.
Yeah. Well, I'm super... Okay, this is where the introvert and the shyness comes out. If I listen to something, I'm usually so... I drive it into the ground so much that I don't want other people to hear what I'm listening to. I'll tell them, but I'm just like, this is mine. You're gonna hate it.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I think that's a sense of accountability for yourself. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. What was the worst? Okay, Velma's saying. Anyways, hold on. Sorry, I'm skipping something. Mrs. Wombat says, sorry, rephrase, trying to have a conversation when food has been served.
Yes, been served, yes.
Velma says, what was the worst / awkward experience you've had on stream, and how did you overcome it?
Good question. You know, I think one thing that really peeves me off is when people make accounts with names to troll you, because there's nothing you can do to get around that apart from turn your follow alerts off.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing you can do from that is just make sure your mods that you have active in your channel are on, you know, they're aware of this, like whatever situation's happening. This is happening right now. I'm not going to, you know, I usually don't feed into it. I just let it go. I don't even say thank you for the follow if it's something like that. Immediate bans, and we just move on with it. I just try anyone that's a troll or anything like that, they're there for your attention, and the more you feed attention to them, the worse it gets. So you're better off just letting it go. Immediate ban, move on. Eventually they're going to get sick of making fake accounts. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had that once where we had like Miss Wombat, the real Mrs. Wombat, you know, it was a whole bunch of stuff, and it made me feel really uncomfortable because, you know, like at this time Mrs. Wombat was sleeping, and then I had people being like, ooh, is there a second Mrs. Wombat? And it was just, you know, it was, I'm not that sort of person.
That is awkward. I mean? That is awkward.
And it wasn't a great situation, especially when I'm already trying to focus. I was doing a 5-star legendary bounty when that was happening too. Bad timing, man. Bad timing. You know what I mean? So yeah. Good question, though, Bomber.
I've had people. I've had 2 mods get into a fight before. That was really weird. Like I don't know what to do about that. Nothing really comes to mind. I've had people message me after I streamed and were like threatening self-harm. And I've had to talk them down, and then I had to block him because I can't take. I used to be a CNA. I used to be a nursing assistant. Yep. So I have that Hippocratic oath where, like, if someone tells me something, like, I have to try to act on it or prevent it. So I did my part. I was just like, hey, you know, talked them down, sent them on their way, and then I blocked them because I'm just like, I can't, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to respect yourself by doing something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really bad at that too, man. That's something that I struggle with as well.
Excuse me. Let's see. DCS. Okay, DC's talking to Yin. Wow. Okay, so Alpha. My God. Okay, here. My favorite book is actually from Alpha. Just kidding.
There you go.
I have 2 questions for Wombat because I never knew I had an opportunity to ask this to you, but I've been your follower from October to my knowledge, and I haven't missed any streams. It might be like 2 or 1 days I missed, but as time passed, I have seen Wombat climbing up through his followers base and all. So Wombat, I mean, do you ever feel like you need to make this change, and somehow you can't? And another is, have you ever been prevented to being sick to get out of something, so you could play a game? So did you ever play hooky to play a game?
The first half of the question, I'm not really sure what he's asking there, but the second half of the question, all I'm going to say is no, I've never done that before.
I think they're saying, so I guess on your rise to partner, I think they're asking, did you ever I think basically, did you ever want to play another game but you couldn't, or did you ever want to change anything? But no, Wombat was saying, I think this is the answer you gave me. You look at all the statistics, you see it works, you alter your streaming to that, what brings the best numbers. So
from what I can. From what I can. I mean, being like, so something I guess you need to remember is that the analytics for Red Dead Online, there is not a big followership in Australia. And for me, streaming in Australian prime time is generally not a good thing for me. I've noticed that, you know, for me, it's mornings to afternoons is the prime time for Red Dead, and 9% of the time I'm working at that time, and I just can't stream at that time. I would love the opportunity to, but I just can't. Overnight, the US mornings has been, like early mornings has been really good for me, and that's where I built a lot of my community around. But it's never really been about the viewership, you know, like I would stream to 1 person or 100 people. I just love playing the game, and I think that's pretty obvious. You know, I guess I'm kind of lucky that, you know, people like to watch me and like to be involved in the community, and we get to where we are. But, you know, bottom line, no, for me, it doesn't really matter whether I've got 1 person in my chat or 100. I'm just happy to be playing Red Dead Online because I enjoy it. The second half of your question, have I ever pretended to be sick to get out of something so you could play a game? For legal purposes, I say no, I've never done that before.
There we go.
Never.
Answer. Rim, your mod sucked by the sounds of it. So no, Rim, here's the thing. When you're first starting off, you take whatever mod you can get. So, like, I remember when I was first trying to make it big or whatever, and someone was like, hey, can I mod for you? And I was getting trolls like, yeah, here's a sword. let me play the game, you take care of that. And then over time, sometimes their true colors come out or whatever. So it's just it's a learning process. And a lot of the people like DC's, I've had her for 2 years. So yeah, it's good.
And sometimes it's healthy to fine tune your mod team. Like I did that recently.
Yeah.
I put out applications for people to join my moderator team, and I explicitly wanted viewers, not streamers, to be my moderators, because I want streamers to focus also on their channel, and I don't want them moderating in my channel to be something that takes away from their channel.
That is very true.
Yeah. And I said this openly to them. If I have any content creators who are mods here, and at one point there's like, if you feel like you don't want to mod because you want to focus on your channel, let me know. There's no harsh feelings. I don't want to be that person that takes away from your channel for the growth, for the benefit of my channel. And we have some new moderators on our team now who are viewers, and they do great jobs. The moderator team I've got, I'm quite lucky with. But yeah.
No, you're right. I used to mod for Total Pasta, and she would stream every day for like 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours, and I would mod from start to finish. And then I would stream after she was done, and all the people that knew me were from her community, so they were already worn out from 6 hours. And so eventually we had to kind of part ways in terms of mod, and you know what I mean? And it was honestly the best thing that ever happened to my channel. My channel got to grow because I got to focus on making my own content. So yeah, there was no hard feelings. It was just, it had to be done for the growth of my channel. Yeah. So yeah, totally get it.
Same thing for me. Like I was a mod in Dave Rage 1's channel.
Oh wow.
To the point where I was like, for me to focus on my channel, Dave, I can't mod for you anymore. And it's nothing personal. It's just, and he understands. He's a pretty easygoing guy. He definitely understood.
I mean, he does have rage though. So I'm just kidding.
He does.
Karen 24, thank you for the follow. Let's see. You don't. That's good. You don't want to know what water. What? Sorry. You take what you can get. Explains why I'm in mod 25 streams and catching up to Slendy. Slendermonk was. I modded him before anybody. I'll take that to my grave. I like making Sunday roast each week. Mostly lamb, either crowns or chops. Funny story about DC's. I knew she was Irish by how she cooked.
Okay.
Because she reminded me of my grandma, and I'm like, she makes food for the whole neighborhood. So I knew she was Irish. I always come in with you. I always came in with you from her stream viewing. That's how I met you. I know, but there was a lot of people that didn't. So she would have like 60, 70 people, and then I'd stream, and it's like you, me, and I don't know, someone else. There's like 3 people. We had fun, but a lot of people were naturally, understandably worn out. Hey, Slender, thank you for shouting out WantedWombat. If you guys aren't following him, please check him out. Sweet guy. Love him.
Thank you, Slender. Thank you.
Let's see. Ooh, I like this. So do you have any hidden skills or talents that we don't know about? Or like Narc says, party tricks?
Well, I mean, we touched base on the graffiti art sort of thing. Art was a big passion of mine for a long time. So I can draw and I can paint, and I'm good with colors and that sort of thing. I studied design as well, so a lot of my own channel overlays and stuff I've been able to create and manipulate and that sort of thing. Do I have any other skills? I can sort of skateboard a little bit. I can do like a heel flip and a pop shove it, and also fall off in true fashion. Not really. Apart from that, no, not really. I don't really have any hidden skills. The graffiti thing, the art thing is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be a 2-parter. What do you have any favorite? Or what's your favorite food? Do you have any favorite dishes in particular?
It's not one. I have so many different favorite foods. Where I live in Melbourne is very, very multicultural. So it opens your taste buds up to foods from all around the world. Middle Eastern food. I love Middle Eastern food. I love a lot of different Asian cuisines, Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese food, Thai food, Malaysian food, Indian. There's so much. I love all food, man. No, I don't have a favorite food because there's just so much. I couldn't narrow it down to one.
What was the okay? And this is the second part. Remember, I think when you and I first started talking, I think it was in my stream. We were talking about Taco Bell, or was it McDonald's? You were talking about something that you just tried. Bell. What was that?
Yeah. Me and Mrs. Wombat were driving home for our first time at Taco Bell. It was a brand new Taco Bell in Australia. Yeah, and I had just said we were just coming from there, and you said, I think someone in your chat said, "Oh, Wombat, you're gonna feel it tomorrow," and I was like, honestly, really, I didn't feel that. I think Taco Bell in Australia is different to Taco Bell in the North American region. It's very clean. It wasn't oily. Like it felt really good, and I felt fine the next day. It didn't upset my stomach or anything like that. I actually really enjoyed it. Now you've mentioned it, I kind of want.
What did you get? Because you told me you're like, I tried this for the first time, and I remember I was playing something, and I was like, really, first time?
the Gordita
Gordita
Crunch.
Gordita Crunch. Okay.
Something.
Okay.
Yep, it was that. What else did we get, Mrs. Wombat? I can't remember. We also had the churros they have there. They're like churros, but they're not churros.
Oh,
like,
yes, they're like little cinnamon twists.
Yeah, cinnamon twist. They were awesome, so light and
yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we had. I think we had like a regular burrito, which was meh. There's better places to get burritos from. And I think we had a couple of tacos as well. But overall, we thought it was pretty good. It wasn't too cheap and it wasn't too expensive. I don't know. It's just not close enough for us to get it regularly.
All the time. Yeah,
we had to drive a little bit. Yeah.
Because I just remember our first conversation about food, and I remember when I was getting to this question, I'm like, I have to bring that up because I remember that about you.
Yeah, I remember that well.
All right. What about favorite movies? Do you have any favorite movies?
So I mean, I have two favorite actors, and they're Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. So anything with either of them in there, or both of them, is even better. Catch Me If You Can is one of my favorite films of all time. Has both of them in there. Great storyline, very funny. I also love Tarantino films. Django, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, The Terminal with Tom Hanks, which is a movie that I think a lot of people don't really would have in their top 10, but something about it's based on a true story as well. I don't know if you know the movie I'm talking about, but yeah, it's based on a true story where basically a guy is flying from France. In the real life, it's from France to or I can't remember where it's from, right? From one country to another country, and while he's in the air, his country goes into war and dissolves, and his passport becomes null and void.
Oh shit!
And he can't go back to his country, but he also can't enter the destination, and he's stuck. He has to live in the airport. And there was a guy who lived in the Charles de Gaulle airport in Paris for like 2.5 years or something like that. And that's what the movie's about, him living on like, packets of crackers and sauce that.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that, because he just legal anomaly, like couldn't get anywhere. Great film, really interesting concept. And I think Tom Hanks is the perfect guy to play something like that. And also one of my favorite films of all time, a movie that just leaves me on the edge of my seat, is Apocalypto. I don't know if you've seen that film.
That's the
Mayan
tribal
civilization.
Thing? Yes.
Yeah. I love that film.
Let's see. We got a lot of things here. So Mrs. Wombat does say she doesn't remember the burritos. She can't remember.
Burritos, she can't. Yeah.
Let's see. Alpha says, I have two questions for me. You said you have a mod who fought. You never know how things work out every time. How will you resolve this problem when your channel expands and another? What is your biggest challenge when starting a Twitch channel and making sure people watch your content? And what do you think of people who are content creators should focus on one content or expand it? What is your thoughts? Okay, so good question. It reminds me of the question I asked Wombat, whether you do one game or variety. For me, it's like, I guess I have ADD. I need to change it up. When I met Pasta, I was strictly kind of a Red Dead streamer, and then it got to a point where I didn't have fun with it, and I think people could see that, so I decided to stream more. There's ebbs and flows. It goes up and down. So just because it's good now, there's been days where I've been rated and had 416 people in here, and then the next day I had one. Like, you never know. There's days where you lose 15 people in a week, and then there's days where you get 45 people. You never know. You have to endure. That's the biggest challenge. How bad do you really want it? My family, I come from a family of gamers. My mom was a game tester at Atari. My dad played in arcades. I grew up with video games. It's in my blood. So you have these. I think everyone's got these random thoughts where you're like, maybe I should quit. Like, maybe it's not going to work out for me. Those are normal thoughts to have, but to do it, it's not good, because the time's still going to pass. You're still going to play video games, and if you really love it, you're still going to do it. And that's why, whether I have one person or 100, I'm still going to do it. Ultimately, I do want to become a Twitch partner, but sometimes everyone's journey is different. It might be longer than others, but definitely. I plan to meet Wombat at that finish line with them. And I think taking personal accountability. Yep. So if something doesn't work, what can I do to make that dish taste better? What can I bring out a new item? If they don't like the steak, what about the chicken? So if they didn't like Red Dead, I can do streamer interviews. I can, don't blame people, just work on yourself, and it should work out.
If you like I said before, trying the same thing and expecting different results is is insanity, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that change up might be your ticket, and that what makes you blow up. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some things are just meant for some people, and other things aren't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about trying it. You got nothing to lose. I say this to new content creators: every hour that you don't stream is a potential follower you don't pick up.
And there is an expression: there is a king in every crowd. So perform to your best, because there's someone there watching you that can change your life.
Yep. Exactly.
Let's see. Velma's asking, Mrs. Wombat ever make an appearance?
No, we've talked about this before. Mrs. Wombat works in education, and we thought it would be wise for her to probably not appear on stream.
Yeah, maybe for like a Rockstar game, or something like that. Yeah, smart move. Alpha's saying Wombat talks about chicken salt. Chicken salt sounds good.
Yeah, we have salt in Australia that's chicken flavored. It's amazing, so good.
I need to try that.
You need to try it.
Let's see. The only fast food I've had is Nando's. I've never heard of Nando's, Decius.
Nando's is amazing.
Is that like a European thing?
I think it's Portuguese chicken, but I don't know where it's originated from. It's massive in Australia. It's very popular here.
Alpha's saying that you're a big fan of ramen.
Oh, I love ramen. Yeah, I love Asian cuisine. Doesn't matter where it's from. Vietnamese pho. I love laksa. I love noodle soup. I'm big on noodle soup. And Mrs. Wombat's very big on Japanese food and Japanese culture. So
same.
When we can travel, we'd love to go to Japan together.
Oh yeah, I want to go to Japan too when this pandemic's over. Plan on going for sure.
Yeah.
Kyoto, that's more traditional. Shibuya is more tech oriented.
Yep.
So if you want to get tech, go to Shibuya. The inner voice is called Call of the Void. It's a subconscious thoughts leaking through. It's darkness deep inside everyone. So it's probably good not to listen to it. Mrs. Wombat can't wait to go to Japan.
Yes.
Rem, thank you so much for dropping by. Appreciate that. All right. So let's see. Next question.
Hey, Rem.
Do you have any favorite TV shows?
Honestly, I'm that guy that likes family-friendly, generic 90s comedy. Malcolm in the Middle is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
Ooh, yes.
I'm a Simpsons kid, man. Like I grew up in the the 90s. The Simpsons was a staple of that. I love the Simpsons. I'm not a massive TV guy, and I think these days I just don't have a lot of time to watch TV. But I do love, like just very, very middle line TV shows like that. Mrs. Wombat's been watching WandaVision a bit.
That's such a good show.
I was a bit like, I don't know. And I'm not a big Marvel or I'm not a big comic book guy, so I don't really know where the background for a lot of these characters are from. But I have, it's the storyline behind it's a great concept. I love the idea, and they do such a good job with CGI and that sort of stuff. In Marvel are really good at that.
You might like it in the sense that it does kind of pay homage to old family-friendly shows.
Yes. Yeah, that 50s sort of era, like we were talking about.
It also does Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, when she goes into that 90s part. Yeah. And The Office.
Yeah, The Office.
Yes, I love The
Office is good.
Both of them. People are probably going to nail me to the cross for this, but I actually prefer the English Office over the US Office.
I can press the boo button if you guys want. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Dee says, Doctor Who, my favorite TV show. I know I'm a stereotype. You are. Well, I mean, you're British. Sorry, just kidding.
Well, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is good too.
Don't tell Swole that. Yeah. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I've never seen that, Alpha. Let's see. So I'm trying to go through. You've answered most of these. Okay, so we're actually going to go to the bonus questions. This is going to be pretty fast because we're passing like Dave Rage 1 levels of like the interview. Okay, physical or digital?
Physical.
Okay.
Always physical. Yeah.
Inverted or regular aim?
Regular, I guess. I don't actually really even know the answer to that question. I think I use regular aim. I don't know. I don't play enough first-person shooters to be one or the other. Whatever it is, standard on.
Okay, so you're regular.
Damn it. Regular.
I'm inverted.
Yeah,
how do you order your steak? Yeah.
Pretty rare.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who says well done.
Yeah, nah. It's too chewy for me. I like a nice, soft, juicy steak.
Okay.
Rare to medium rare in between that bracket.
There we go. Slender says you're the only weirdo C-wing. Wow, thank you. I like just because I like a well done steak.
I know, right?
You're a mistake. You're missing on your steak, Slender. How dare you? DC says murders with a dull, rusty spork, and considering they're plastic, they're really hard. I'd let you do it, though. I'd let you do it. Good lad,
Well,
rare is the best. You get
Tyrese is very passionate about his steaks. Lucky I didn't say is blue the least cooked.
That's
one,
the least
blue
cooked,
steak?
yeah.
Yeah, lucky I didn't say that. Hey man, when I was in Paris, I had steak tartare. Isn't that like completely uncooked?
Pretty much like you can name
beef?
your cow at that point.
Yeah.
You like hockey pucks and inverted aim? I know. Oh God. Let's see. Do you know any good dad jokes?
I do, but off the top of my head, no, I can't think of any.
Okay. Alpha's saying Vegemite or Marmite? I've never tried either.
I mean,
what about you?
Vegemite, but that's because, Vegemite you buy off the shelf here. Marmite you have to specialty order because it's not Australian.
What other hobbies do you have?
Not many, to be honest with you. Really, not many at this point. Spending time with Mrs. Wombat and the doggy.
All the hobbies you need, right there.
Family time, yeah, family time.
Okay, I would love this question. If you were to cast anyone to play you in a movie, who would you pick?
Danny DeVito.
What?
Yeah.
Unlike,
I don't know why. I don't know. He's funny. I don't know. We're probably a similar build. I'm a little bit taller. I don't know. That's
Danny DeVito on stilts.
I know. I could say a better question, a better answer, and an answer that really pumps myself out, and say that guy from the guy from, is it Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa or something like that.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Be real. I'm not Jason Momoa. I'm Danny DeVito. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
Jason Momoa.
Mrs. Wombat, Adam Sandler.
Oh,
yeah. People
okay.
say without a beard that I look like Adam.
Is
Sandler.
that right? Interesting, Mrs. Wombat. Thank you for that.
Adam Sandler's actually a pretty good answer. That's not a bad answer, Mrs. Wombat. Adam Sandler's pretty funny, and I think we're pretty similar.
Decius raises horses and works on a farm. Those are your hobbies. And cooking your ass off, I might add. You cook a lot, D. Let's see. Any irrational fears or phobias? So for me, it's like looking straight up, frogs, Egyptian artifacts, needles.
I remember you saying that, looking straight up. I'm a little bit heights. I'm not great at heights, especially, like, I don't mind flying, but, on the top of a building, I feel like I really have to hold on. I feel like I might just...
Your knees buckle.
Yeah, that's about it, though. Apart from that, and really fast speeds. Like, if I'm in a car and someone's driving really quick, I get that, like that roller coaster feeling. I hate that feeling. That's definitely something I try and avoid. I'm not a big rides person. I don't like
no roller coasters.
Nah, no roller coasters.
Okay.
Ferris wheel is about as far as I go. Yeah. So if you take me to a theme park, I'm very boring. I'm really good at all the games, like the throwing games and stuff like that. Yeah.
So I'll tell you this. My mom actually, because I used to say, "Oh, Ferris wheels aren't scary." My mom had the Ferris wheel conductor put me at the top and leave me up there, and then yell to me that the ride was stuck.
Oh no!
My mom did that to me as a joke to mess with me. Love you, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
DC says Rebecca De Mornay would play you. I remember that answer.
That's right.
And how she found out he was a lady. He thought I was a guy. It's because, your name. Yeah, because Decius, I thought Decius was a guy's name.
Right.
Oh, Rebecca De Mornay. Yeah, I remember that.
Mrs. Wombat reminds me, I have a fear of umbrellas. I actually do.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, my problem is that people are irresponsible with their umbrellas.
Okay.
And if you're behind them, they're like, and the umbrella's like this. And the points, umbrellas, someone needs to design umbrellas that have like a safety guard on those points. Because have you ever been hit in the eye with a point of an umbrella? It is not fun. It hurts.
Have you been hit?
People are so careless with them. They're just like, oh, whatever,
That happened to you?
Yeah, I've been hit before. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Water...
Especially on a windy day. Yeah, anyway.
How do you feel about them opening it up in the house?
Just as long as it's not near me, I don't care where you open it up.
Okay,
because it's not near my eyes.
You know it's bad luck to open an umbrella in the house.
Well, you know what? That's probably why they don't know how to use it properly, because they got bad luck.
I'm superstitious. I'm Irish, so yeah, I'm like, don't open that in here. Right. Like, get that shit out of here. Like,
yep. Water's
trolling me with frogs. Get out of here. I'm Irish. I've beaten with an umbrella, poked, and used it as a cane. What is going? DC's what? God Almighty. Okay, let's see. If you were on death row, what would your last meal be?
Ooh, like a Middle Eastern feast. Like like lamb, chicken, rice, breads, dips.
Okay.
The whole works, you know what I mean? Like a big Lebanese feast, that would be my go-to. Or Turkish or something like that. Mrs. Wombat's background's Turkish, so we have Turkish food quite often. Yeah.
Finally, someone that has like a solid, like, you know, a long answer. Because like normal people are like, just ice cream and mac and cheese. I'm just like, you're going to that chair fast.
Yeah.
You're exactly waiting. Okay, I like that.
They're gonna have to drag me to that chair because I physically can't get up.
put butter on the door seal to push you through.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's me trying to get the last of my bread with butter while I'm squeezing through. Yeah.
I love that answer. I love that answer. Asian, what's up? He's got the fancy emote, and then you got the wombat howdy.
What's up,
going on, Asian? Okay, DC says when Gran was a very opinionated woman, and when I didn't agree, she'd hit me with things, and that's how we learn. There we go. Alpha says Wombat be like, that requires gold to purchase. Do you have some?
That requires gold to purchase.
Do you have
some? Yeah, it's the Taylor from Red Dead. Yeah.
Doing your rounds like the usual. Noise. Okay. We've answered all the questions. We are in that Dave Rage. We did it.
We did it, and we're in Dave Rage status.
Yeah.
2 hours 25. Let's go.
There we go. I think this is the longest interview I've ever done.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Woo-hoo.
We did it, man. We did it. It was, and you know what? It was easy 2.5 hours. Time flied. It feels like it's been 20 minutes. I don't know about you. You're the one who's working here. Let's be real.
No. Like, it's funny because I remember like when the hour hit, because like we were just answering questions from the viewers, and I looked and I'm like, it's already been an hour. Are you kidding me?
I know. Time flies.
24-hour dual stream. But yeah, man, thank you for being here. And then as always, we like to end the stream. We raid someone of your choice. So is there someone that you want to put in the chat that we can raid?
Let me just see who's live right now. Yes, okay. I want to take you over to
you guys rock it.
A good friend of mine. Let me just have a quick look at where we're at. Yes. All right. Can we I'll drop. I don't drop the raid command. I just drop the
name. Yeah.
All right, and then you can copy and paste this. We're going to go see Mr. Crimson Penguin.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, we follow each other.
But yeah, thanks for having me. This was an amazing
pleasure.
experience. And as I said to you before, you know, when you asked me if I'd be interested, I love your stream interviews. So it's an honor to be here. Thanks to everyone for coming through from my community, everyone Steven's community. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you.
Interviews
Hope
great.
you all have a fantastic Wednesday.
Stay wanted. There we go. Yeah. All right, guys, have a good one.